you're rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy
What's
body
going on,
full of
guys?
tats.
Welcome back to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 83, and I am Shoky. And you can follow me at all the Shoky-related things in the description down below. And, of course, if you'd like to write into this show with any questions, comments, or anything else, you can do so at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com. And with me again today, I do have Jeff.
Hey, guys. Glad to be back.
Yep, glad to have you back. You know, didn't scare you off the first time.
No, not at all. I'm stubborn.
But you haven't heard your episode come out yet, so...
I probably won't.
No, it's fine. It came out fine.
I still hate myself most of the time.
Look, it's part of being. It's part of doing any type of entertainment work is that you hate yourself. Part
of course,
it's self-deprecation, or just self-loathing. But also, you'd think that after years of being on camera, I'd want to lose some weight more.
Yeah,
but, you know, I will. Especially now that it's warmer, I can get out there and I can sweat some shit off. And
Lord.
Considering I'm drinking at the moment, I probably need it. Wasn't exactly low on calories with breakfast either. I was eating leftover meatloaf, and so didn't mention this the other night when we went over to your house. Thank you for inviting us over.
That was a good time. It was a good night.
That was a very good night. You made some quesadilla for everybody, beans and rice. I didn't actually get into the rice.
The rice was good. Spanish rice.
Okay, well, I'll try it next time. But
Nothing fancy out of a box.
yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. There's some shitty out of the box
Right.
rice. So I made meatloaf the other night for us, and it was just
That's one of my favorite things.
yeah, real simple. I didn't add anything crazy. Didn't have any peppers or onions to throw in there, so I just went basically meat and meat.
Literally meatloaf.
Yeah, so it was pretty dense considerably because I normally add a little bit of chorizo to mine to up the flavor level, but Jessica doesn't really like chorizo that much,
A little greasy.
and it gets a little greasy. So I just did normal breakfast sausage, half-pound breakfast sausage, full-pound beef, but then I added taco seasoning to it.
Oh, nice.
So I flavored it up with some taco seasoning and some leftover barbecue rub I had just to punch it up. But the other day I still had some tortillas left over, so I actually took a couple chunks of the meatloaf, chopped it up, threw it in with a little bit more beef tallow and some water and more seasoning, and basically made myself some tacos from it.
Well, growing up, my dad always taught us that any leftovers with eggs wrapped in a tortilla is now breakfast. Really doesn't matter what it is. Throw eggs on it and wrap it up and go.
I mean, it's true. Realistically, if you're just going to put anything with eggs, it just instantly becomes
breakfast. Yeah.
Except for egg fried rice.
True. That makes a weird burrito.
I mean, hold on. You know what's really funny? Something I actually enjoy doing. I like taking leftover jambalaya, throwing it in the skillet. You know, get it heated up, add some cheese, throwing it on, and have a jambalaya burrito.
Works for me.
Yeah, you got the sausage, the rice, and all that. I mean, you're literally basically there for a Mexican style thing.
So we're going to be experimenting more with that queso birria marinade I made.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing chickens in it, turkeys, hog quarters, deer, brisket.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just going to try to make a marinade we can bottle and sell.
Yeah.
And put on whatever you want. Gator tail, I'll give that a shot.
You know what's funny? I'll send you a link to Guga Foods because he's basically.
I watched him last night. You sent me a link last night about the Future Burgers.
The Future Burgers, which is a weird thing.
That one wasn't bad.
No, some of those are interesting ideas, but it's
The little clear plastic looking things.
Yeah,
those look neat.
Yeah, the edible plastic.
Yeah.
Packages of food. That was cool, but I'm sure that doesn't taste great.
Oh, the tube was off-putting.
The weird tube of water, adding the water tubes. Yeah. Oh, you meant the paste.
So the first one,
paste burger. Yeah, that was gross. But one thing I was thinking about, he's done a lot of birria experiments. So I'll send you some of those videos.
Yeah.
Because he's done brisket. He's done skirt steak. He's done a lot of different types of meat in birria. So you can see how he experimented with it and give you a little leg up on the idea.
We've been working on getting recipes, getting everything squared away for when we get our shop built at the new property. I can launch full force into selling and marketing seasonings and marinades and just about anything else I can think of to make and sell.
Yeah.
So
and I will take some.
I'm definitely going to have to bring you some of my
stuff.
I've been working on a steak seasoning for a couple of years. I'll definitely bring you some. It goes good on everything.
Yeah.
And I'm talking
on everything.
I'm talking everything from that paste, chickpea paste.
Hummus?
Yeah, hummus.
There you go.
Damn, my brain farted. Yes, that. All the way to steak. Yeah, I smell toast.
Yes. That wasn't toast I was smelling. That was brain fart.
Nice.
You can smell the brain farts.
Jed, we've just been working on it a while, and I'm trying to make something you can put on just about everything you eat. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to go. And, speaking of Guga, he had a thing called Guga's Rub.
Yep.
And it was basically an all-you-can-season spice.
Yeah, well, this is going to be El Jefe's whatever.
Yeah. Well, he just stopped making it.
Guess he got busy doing. He's probably making more money doing the content and all that.
Well, it was probably a limited run to begin with. They'll probably come back later with something else.
Right.
But one thing, I love going down to Penzeys. Like, have you ever been there? Penzeys Spice Shop? Oh.
I probably need to.
Road trip.
Right. Where's that?
All the way down on 19th and Shepherd, pretty much.
Definite road trip.
Yeah, that's a road trip. So
We can swing by Dak and Bop while we're down there.
yeah, I tell you what. So last time I went down there, I ended up getting a couple of their hot chocolate mix, which is just in a jar.
Mm-hmm.
I got their barbecue rub, which is I got for doing pulled pork, and then I got their taco seasoning, and they threw in a free thing of their chili powder just because I bought a bunch of shit. They're just like, here's some free chili powder. I'm
Right.
like, okay. It was like, I mean, I'm not mad at it.
That seems fun, but here lately I've been getting more excited by bulk spices. 5 pounds of garlic powder? Yes, please, give me.
You can buy bulk from
And
them.
I want just huge amounts of everything.
Yeah, you can buy bulk from them and stuff like that. Like obviously, like normies can buy like either an actual shaker at different sizes, or buy the bag, or buy the pound.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm needing.
Yeah. So and they've got everything. It's amazing walking in there because you just get hit with a wall of smells.
Right.
And then they have a sample jar of every single thing. So,
See, I'm going to have to go down and visit to see and then try to order it all. Because once I get the farm, I'm going to try not to ever leave the farm again. Once I get my place built, I'm going to be centrally located and nonstop there.
okay. It's gonna be hard to do the podcast then.
Then come on up. We'll get a recording studio.
Oh sure. Let me just drag all my shit up there, Jeff. No. It's fine. Yeah, if you have high-speed internet, then it won't be a problem.
We'll have AT&T fiber. Yeah.
Okay, well, that'll work. If I have it, that'll be good. But yeah, basically, guys, if you're unfamiliar with the podcast, like and subscribe on whatever platform you do the thing. We're on everything, and of course, we are on Rumble. So if you do want to start watching us on Rumble, where you can also make use of their mini player, so you can just listen and not have to watch, because frankly, this is an audio-only podcast, except for the people on the SHOKY Patreon who do get the video version of this. For now, if I figure out how to produce it well, then I will put it out for everybody on the video form.
You'll get there.
Yeah, I mean the audio form exists no matter what, because that's the easiest version to do. Just go MP3 instead of MP4.
Right.
So it's just like, oh, we're just going to eliminate the audio. And what sucked is last week I told you it failed to export. It was because it was too big, and I had too many layers.
So it's calling us fat?
Yes, there was too much of us. So there was areas that I had overlapping footage, and all I did was cut out some of that overlapping footage because it's just unnecessary, because it was going back and forth between you and me in the edit. Here I'm doing it manually through the show. Probably be a little bit less clean, but it is what it is. But the fun part was that once I eliminated that, and then also changed it from 60 frames per second to 30 frames per second, it exported in half the time.
Right.
And didn't crash. I mean, like, no joke. So, like, I edited it Tuesday, I think. Tuesday or Wednesday. And I started exporting it, and it was just rolling and rolling and rolling. And I'm like, good God, the computer went to sleep twice, and it still didn't complete. I was like, and so I finally set my computer to not go to sleep for like 4 hours. So I hopefully get it done, and it still didn't finish. And so I went at like Saturday morning, I think it was, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to fix all this shit. I exported the video of the Patreon call. So you're still fairly new here. So for the patrons, I do a monthly call 3 weeks out of the month where we sit down and bullshit with them. It's basically our own little podcast kind of.
Okay.
So I put that out for everybody on Saturdays when we do that. So I edited that, and then I went through and I fixed the podcast so that it would actually export, and then I put it out for audio. Actually, I need to, now that reminds me, I have to go through and put in the descriptions and thumbnails and all that shit, all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Although, I would like to give a shout-out to James, who was here 2 weeks ago. He did his first episode of his podcast with his daughter.
Oh, nice, nice.
So he needed a little bit of advice, so I talked him through some of it after the fact. Like, it's like, hey, this is the kind of things you'll need. I had a couple questions on basically how to get it out to the world.
Right.
He's like, how do I do this? Because he's a YouTuber to begin with. So he's an old school YouTuber. He started way back in like 2008. So he's like, he was at one point in the top 100 YouTubers on the planet. And so he knows that end, but it's changed a lot, at least since the last upload he did like 3 or 4 years ago. So for the podcast version, I told him, I was like, look, dude, just do this, this, and this, and there you go. And you'll be good to go. And he's like, oh, okay. So he's supposed to be sending me his first, the 0 episode, as they're calling it, their first trial episode. So like there is a 0 episode for this show, but I think it only technically exists on the Shoky Reviews channel where the show started.
All right.
So, we did like 20 episodes, I think, that I uploaded there. Maybe it wasn't even that many. I think it might have only been like 10 episodes. And then I've made it its own channel. I'm like, I don't want to have too much content on the one thing, distracting from shit. So then I moved everything over to the actual Now You Made It Awkward channel, which, guys, you should go subscribe to. So, other than that, I did want to mention that Jessica is back to watching murder shows and things like that on the Netflix.
You're sleeping great, yeah.
Yeah. She's always back to doing that. But I mean, the problem is we pay for all these services, Netflix,
and you watch like 20% of whatever you pay for.
Well, not even that. It also comes down to she'll only watch maybe Netflix.
Yeah.
She'll watch like one show, plow through it. Like she watched this one. I forgot what the name is, but it's basically like the female cocaine drug lord of Puerto Rico or wherever she was from. She's basically like the what was the other guy's name? The big drug lord down there in Cuba.
Yeah, the guy with the hippos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is his name escaping me? Not Castro.
Because we're dumb.
Either way, he said she was the only man that he ever feared.
Okay.
Because she's that dangerous. And so she watched that, and then she started watching Narcos, which, funny, following the same thing. And then she just will watch YouTube on her phone.
Just death scrolling?
Well, no. It's just she'll pull up, like, okay, so do you know what spirit boxes are? Where they set up like this thing that's constantly shifting frequencies in a haunted house, and you'll hear voices come through it sometimes. Okay, so if you watch any of these paranormal investigation shows,
no, I don't.
Okay, so she likes that shit, and I do.
So does my wife. They could probably sit there and watch it together. Have a blast.
Let them have fun doing that. And I do believe in ghosts and stuff like that to a degree.
Right.
But I don't believe in a lot of the bullshit these shows put out there.
A lot of it's staged.
It's a lot of staged
building up tension and building suspense, and for nothing.
So the one that she watches, I don't know the name of the channel or anything else like that. It just shows like this decorated quote unquote spirit box. And the guy says, like, I'm going to try to channel this particular person. So I forgot who was it that just died not long ago. This was famous.
The guy from Friends.
Not Matthew Perry, but a different guy. Or somebody else who just died like a week or two ago. And he said, I'm going to channel this guy. So he says, all right, cool. Starts asking questions. Says, hey, trying to basically do a seance to summon this person. And then gets responses. And then says, okay, sometimes it's really hard to know what's even being said, so I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to do all this other stuff, and I'm going to play it back. And I'm going to edit the questions with the answers together. So, I mean, it's already very forcibly edited.
Right.
But how the hell are you supposed to believe that shit at all, you know?
It reminds me of all the fights and all the drama that they forced and staged on Orange County choppers when we were younger. Because all that was fake.
A lot of it was fake,
yeah.
But I believe that Paul Sr. and Jr. did have a lot of animosity.
Of course, but all the big blow-ups and throwing chairs and raising hell, to me that had to have been fake.
I think that particular fight where they really went and he quit and he was fired or whatever and all that shit, I think that was legit because you don't get that. They're not that good at acting.
No, they're not. They're not good at acting at all.
They're not good at acting. So I think that was legit. And they did legitimately go their separate ways at that point. I mean, yeah, there was the reunion later. But even to the point, like, I've been watching this guy on YouTube that bought an old Orange County chopper. It was a Geico bike.
Bikes and Beards.
Bikes and Beards, yes.
I like him.
So I just randomly found that the other day. and he just bought the Geico supercharged bike and has been having hell trying to get it running again. And he's been talking to all the people who helped build the bike, and the more you dig into it, the more you realize Orange County didn't do fuck all to build the bike.
I've seen a number of them, bike shows, stuff like that. They are,
But whenever it's one of the big not consumer, but the big advertiser type bikes, sure, I could see a lot of outsourcing there, and you'd see them basically come in and do some touch up or some in-house stuff. But they showed at least like 14 people who had outside of Orange County. But that also could have been way later when the show basically didn't even, it was like winding way down.
Yeah.
And they lost a lot of people in-house. And mind you, they built that giant world headquarters, spent hundreds of millions of dollars building that shit, and then basically weren't selling any bikes. They had to do a restaurant and all that fucking bullshit. It's stupid. And even whatever the guy's name is on Bikes and Beards, he's like, look, Paul Sr. is a nice guy and all that, but he doesn't make bikes anymore.
Yeah.
He's an entertainer.
He makes content.
Yeah, he's like Vince McMahon at that point.
True.
He's like the Vince McMahon of choppers. And we talked last week about all the like Top Gear and stuff like that. But we talked about American Hot Rod, and it was basically a spin-off of all the American Chopper, American Hot Rod, all that. But there wasn't a major amount of drama when it came to what was it, Floyd? What was the guy's name? American Chopper.
God, what's his name?
Why am I drawing a blank there? We have a Google machine. We should probably use it.
Is it American Chopper?
Yeah. No, American Hot Rod. I forgot his name. God, it's been so long. He's dead now. He was that hot rod builder. Is it Floyd? No. God, what was his name? I think beard, glasses, red hat.
Working on it.
Trying to think. Drawing a blank here. Watch the show. I think I'd know this. Because Chip Foose worked for him for a little bit and then went out on his own. Did you see the Jay Leno's Garage where he actually had Chip Foose come in and talk about the Prowler?
No.
Okay, I need to watch that. Because I love the Prowler. I've always wanted one of those. And the fact that Chip Foose's design was basically taken by Chrysler to make that car.
Was it Paul Tuttle?
No.
No.
That's American Choppers. One for American Hot Rod.
I'm looking for That's so weird. Anyway, moving on.
Here, I will have a Google. Give me a second.
Oh.
I will do it. I have a computer right here.
Computer.
American. Was it Hot Rod? I think it had to have been American Hot Rod. Yeah.
Was it Mike Curtis, Boyd Coddington?
Boyd Coddington. That's what it was.
I didn't know Mike Rowe announced for him.
Yeah, of course. Mike Rowe did all those shows. Yeah, Boyd Coddington was the guy I was thinking of. He's the car builder. He's the one with the beard and the glasses and all that. Looks like the right there, Chip Foose, right there. Oh yeah, because some of them left there and went to go work on overhauling, which seems like a slap in the face, but it was all the same channel basically, either TLC or Discovery, just depending on who bought the contract. Yeah, dude, Mike Rowe. Have you started watching? Have you checked out his podcast?
I like anything Mike Rowe.
I do too. I have his whiskey right there.
Is it any good?
Yeah,
good.
That Noble whiskey, you see it right there?
I've seen it.
Yeah, no, it's good shit. That one. It's done originally in American oak and then finished in French oak.
Right.
It's good. I like it. Very nutty.
He's done a number of shows lately. He did a straight to Facebook show where he went around and what was it called?
Well, he actually did the latest few seasons of Dirty Jobs were straight to Facebook video. Yeah.
And they're also called Somebody's Got to Do It.
Somebody's Got to Do It.
And then there was another one where he was going around and finding these people helping the community and basically giving them a bunch of money and helping them set up and do better.
I thought that was part of Somebody's Got to Do It, but I could be wrong.
No,
that might have been associated to his...
but it was great.
Yeah. Well, it's because he moved a lot of it over to YouTube now. So he's got a lot of those episodes over on YouTube and even like the last little bit of Dirty Jobs. And a couple lost episodes of Somebody's Got to Do It. He just uploaded recently. But he started a new podcast. I think it's just the Micro Podcast.
He was doing it. Yeah, that was a couple years ago. And he'd only go on for 10 or 15 minutes at a time.
Yes, but this is a longer form, like hour-long show. And he's got his producer, Chuck, with him. And then he's interviewing whoever. I just watched the one with Gabby Reed, if you know who she is.
I've heard the name, just don't.
Famous volleyball player from the early 2000s and 90s, model, married to hell, if I hadn't stopped, I probably would have remembered the very famous Laird Hamilton.
All right,
so she's married to Laird Hamilton, world famous most famous surfer, and they have their own supplements and food company and all that kind of stuff like that. And apparently, like, he has his own special coffee that he puts out that's got turmeric in it and all kind of stuff, so it helps with
joint inflammation
and all that kind of stuff. And that's one of the things that I try to talk to Jessica about. And like, she has we got to do a fight this weekend at the grocery store. She has a problem with feeling like any type of information put her way is a criticism of her. And so she's got lupus, she's got fibromyalgia, so she's always in pain, always dealing with some type of inflammation, especially in her skin. That rash is basically some type of lupus.
Her skin hating itself, apparently.
In a way. And part of it is diet. And we know this. Because they say that she has some gluten allergy to a degree. But we haven't cut gluten out. And unfortunately, we ate some focaccia pizza bread last night.
Of course.
So I'm sure that
no gluten at all.
And I made sure to give her a Benadryl last night to try to help a little bit. But what I wanted to try.
Do you have to hide it in cheese or anything?
Huh? What?
You have the Benadryl? Do you have to hide it in cheese?
No, she's not a dog. That's fucking mean, Jeff. But no, I said basically, it's like, look, why don't we just do a full-on elimination diet, go carnivore for a couple weeks, eliminate all the other bullshit that isn't just straight-up red meat, and see what happens, and see if it has any effect on your diet. And we'll cut out a lot of the bullshit that is inflammatory. Like, there's probably a lot of oils that we ingest that just cause inflammation.
I'm sure dinner Saturday didn't help at all.
She didn't eat much of it, to be fair.
True.
She couldn't.
To be fair.
To be fair.
And by the way, I'm missing like 6 of those. So now I need to go through the shows.
No.
I need to go through the shows and actually find some of them, because there's some shorter ones that I've missed, like in the bar and stuff. But either way. And by the way, for anybody who's watching on video, Jeff is not wearing his overalls. He forgot to come dressed as Squirrely Dan. But I did dress as Wayne to greet him at the door, full button up and everything.
Right? No pants. That was weird.
Well, I mean, I had shorts on, so you're technically correct. I was not wearing pants because my jeans are in the wash.
But yeah, I woke up this morning almost late, hauled ass, completely forgot about putting on my overalls. My wife years ago,
just keep them here.
My wife years ago got me a set of Squirrely Dan overalls that are from the manufacturer. She'd ordered them direct from Canada.
Yeah.
And at the time, they fit very, very well. Now they're like a parachute on me.
Yeah, you just have to cinch them up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, just do the clamps on the
But
back.
the legs now look like I'm wearing Jinkos. They're freaking huge.
I mean, that might work. It's like
Find a Jinko patch, slap it on the back.
1998 Squirrely Dan. But either way, so we got into a fight in the middle of HEB. I tried to keep it contained because we went grocery shopping after church yesterday. Which, by the way, we had our first morning service yesterday, which was weird.
I was there for the tail end of it, just in a different theater.
Yeah, we didn't get out of there till noon, so yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were in Theater 6, so I don't know which one you were in.
I was in 1.
Oh, you're opposite end.
Yeah.
Thank God they put...
That thing was loud.
Dude, did I not tell you that movie was loud?
It was good.
Yeah, so either way, we'll talk about Dune here in a minute.
Yep.
So this is going to be a Dune 2 spoiler cast, guys. Just warning now. But,
I've got some feelings.
Yeah, it's fine. So do I. But, and by the way, I did watch Dune 1 this morning.
I listened to Dune.
You listened to the books, yes. So, what we got into a fight about was she wanted to go get some either bagels or waffles for quick breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
And all I said was, why not get something that's more protein packed and less just empty starches? Mm-hmm. That's all I said. And she just went off on me.
Oh, good grief. She was hangry.
No, not at that point she was not. Because we had a good breakfast over at Burger Fresh. So, yeah, that fight lasted a while, and then we got into another fight later that she realized how in the wrong she was when she saw how upset I was. She never said sorry, but I guess it is what it is.
Right.
But we ended up getting bagels. So it is what it is. But I ended up getting myself just some of those Jimmy Dean breakfast bowls just because I don't have time to pre-make a lot of shit right now. Or else I would, because I did do that before. I was making like a whole week's worth of breakfast bowls for myself and portioning it out,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff. But, you know, also to try to minimize my spending. Same thing with her. She wants to minimize her spending, so make sure we got plenty of coffee.
Right.
So no more Starbucks. She wants breakfast, so she doesn't buy breakfast tacos every fucking morning, or go to Chick-fil-A every morning. And dude, it has gotten stupid expensive to fucking just eat breakfast. Like,
Well, I don't eat breakfast or lunch anymore.
yeah. Well, I mean, I got to eat something somewhere. And like I told you last time, is like dinner is the thing that's sort of going away, or the hardest thing to maintain. So like I had a big breakfast this morning, as I was telling you before we got rolling, or maybe that was on camera. I don't remember. I'll figure it out.
You
in
told
the
it to
edit.
me nonetheless.
Yes. So I just don't know if they.
I know about it.
Yes. So I'm going to be full until probably like 4 o'clock.
Right.
Which before I go into men's group, I'll probably get in there and eat some of the leftover pizza.
Well, today was an anomaly. I usually don't eat anything during the day, but
Yeah.
my last meal up until I grabbed that Chick-fil-A was, 7 o'clock last night?
Hold that mic towards you.
Okay.
If you're going to lean back, hold the mic towards you.
All right, not a problem.
There you go.
Quit yelling at me. That's not nice.
I was whispering at you, in fact.
Sure.
Yeah, don't be afraid of it. Not a penis. It's not a penis. All right, so you grab Chick-fil-A on the way here.
But it was just, I got home I didn't eat till 7 last night. I got home at 6:30, went to bed, and woke up at 11:30. It was like, man, I'm hungry.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get around it. Like, I did the same thing. Like,
I'll probably eat tonight around midnight.
yeah. Also, like, I ate one last case of beer right before I left your house Saturday.
It's hard to put them down.
Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I mean, even as soggy as they were
Lime
after
juice, a
sitting,
little bit of consomme, they're heaven.
dude, I mean, I ate a half warm one, dipping it into the beans and consomme, and it's like still stupid good.
Yeah.
It was just like it was ridiculous. But I mean, I was the only one who got to be tortured. Nobody else was there early enough to be tortured by watching you
Watching me
them.
cook.
It was ridiculous.
God, I threw down something like 35 tacos.
More than that.
We had 40.
One plate would have been 35.
Well,
I would have thought.
we had 2 packs of total of 40 tortillas.
That was only 40?
Yeah.
Seemed like way more.
No.
Wow. I mean, I ate at least 5.
Yeah, I had 4.
Yeah, and I figured it's like, well, if I don't get full on beans, I'll be good. Yeah.
I'm glad y'all come up just to help us eat everything.
Well, I mean,
'Cause I can only cook to feed an army.
Well, like you mentioned being like a social hermit, and we're like, during COVID and everything where everybody just kind of disappeared on us, we turned into hermits.
Well, having people over is working nights and all that, not getting away from the farm, being in the shop so much. Having people over is my form of socialization.
Yeah,
It
same
wasn't
here.
until recently you dragging us out doing trivia, this and that. Now, my wife and I, we're going to be at trivia. We're going to go start to do stuff again.
Yeah. And yeah, thanks for you guys coming to trivia last week. We
lost.
We lost worse.
We lost horribly.
Thanks for that, because I had many answers correct and then I changed them.
Then
Because
quit
of
listening to us.
I will when I know when I'm 100% right. I will not write down the wrong answer.
There you go.
Though I will admit the Harry Potter round was on me.
Oh.
I fucked that up.
And I was,
Well, like we were all backwards on the Deathly Hallows, and I got the last one wrong because I worked under the assumption that it could be any Harry Potter movie anywhere, not which of the 8 is this. I wasn't working under the assumption that it would just be one from each movie.
okay.
So that's why I put down
You're
the
thinking
same
they could have
choice.
multiple movies
Multiple
as an
as a
answer.
trick answer, yeah. So it is what it is. But trivia night was a lot of fun, and Tim and his wife had a lot of fun. I guess he had to work yesterday morning. He wasn't at church, but his wife and all the kids were. So shout
And
out to them.
my buddy Jacob Mendez, who was at the table beside us, he was supposed to come up, but they had something to dinner Saturday, but he had something come up.
Oh well, it's more food for us.
Right.
Yeah, it was good. I did not get into the spicy salsa that Heidi brought though.
Yeah, I didn't touch it either.
I mean, I would have. I
There's
didn't.
just better things to eat.
Yeah. The problem is when there's so much good food on the table, what the hell do you go for? And I didn't want to fill up on chips.
Exactly.
I mean, like, in theory, one could have made amazing nachos with the birria as well.
I'm still trying to think of
So-
something good to do with
so-
the borracho beans. I may just mash them up, refry, and make something good out of them.
Maybe freeze them for next time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the problem with having so many.
Yeah, I made an entire Instant Pot, big 8-quart Instant Pot.
Yeah, that might have been a little oversells.
Well, that's my recipe.
I know you cook for a fucking
And-
army, but
well,
you didn't have an army.
It's hard for me to scale it back and have it come out tasting the same. So
Yeah.
I make it the same every time, which is a lot.
Well, then what you do is you take all of the ingredients, set it out, and you just go
No,
half.
no.
You take half the ingredients and set it aside.
I don't want to math. I just cook.
Well, it's not math at that point. You literally just put it out there. It's fine. I'm just picking on you. I mean, I come from a massive family that also cooked for an army every time. So
But I'm so used to feeding all the all the rest of the family, both my brother-in-laws and their family, and my family that comes over, Heidi and their family, because that's 6 people if they all come over just from the issues alone.
and now us.
Yeah.
So, was that Amy's dad?
Yes.
Okay, we never got a proper
As
introduction.
my father-in-law, over the past 3 years, he's become more of a friend than a father-in-law.
Well, that's good.
We get into all kinds of stupid shit together.
I wouldn't doubt it. You probably have a sitcom.
Well, working on projects with him is great because he's too old to really do anything and really help and get in there. But he says, I can go get parts. And it's great because I send him after parts. He knows what he's looking at. He knows what he's getting. And it gets him out of my hair and allows me to tear everything down and ready for assembly when it gets back.
Dude, having a parts runner is amazing. Like,
especially a competent parts runner. That's the big thing.
I guess that part's true. Yeah, having a competent parts runner. But because I've been at the point where I'm working on something at my mom's because it's the only shop I have accessible to myself, and I'll make sure Jessica comes with me in her car. So like, if nothing else, I can tell her.
Well, you've got another shop now.
Well, it's technically closer,
and probably better equipped.
Definitely. It's just I have to go down a dirt road to get to it. That's the only problem.
Just drive slow.
My car, you underestimate how big a piece of shit my car is.
That little red thing down there?
Very big piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like the suspension is 100% shot. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 105% shot if I go down your road.
Bring parts. We'll put them on.
That's the point. I need to bring. Like Son, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I asked him. I was like, "Hey man, if I need to do something, can I borrow your lift at the shop if you don't have an actual customer on it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, like it's fine. It's not going to take too long. I mean, I'm not asking him to do it. I just need parts."
Yeah.
So like, I want to get new coilovers on the car. So that's not a ridiculous project to manage.
You just need to make sure you rent the coil compressor and all that.
Don't need to do that. They all come assembled.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's just pull apart and fucking reinstall.
Nice.
Super easy. And then go get alignment after that. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about that part. And plus, I've done all that shit. I mean, I've got a spring compressor at the house. At my mom's house, I should say. So all my major tools are at my mom's. That's where the workshop is. That's where everything is. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. God, I feel bad. I really need to call her or something because we haven't talked to them in weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's just...
See, I talk to my mom and dad all the time. My dad works with me, but I never see him. On the 2 nights I'm off a week, he's working.
Yeah. So last year was really rough for us because my mom and dad were both in the hospital early in the year, and that caused a major rift between us.
Yeah, you explained all that at breakfast a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and it was bad. It was real bad. And then when I went in the hospital, that sort of barely patched it over, and then like through Thanksgiving and shit like that, things got slightly better, more civil. And then my dad needing to go into an old folks home temporarily just really fucked everything up, and my mom's declining health and all that. It just everything about it is just super complicated, and my brothers and sisters basically not helping in any way, shape, or form, or only helping 5% and out of guilt.
We're going to be there in the next 5 years, maybe. My mother's health has been bad lately. Some days she can't even get out of bed.
How old is she?
62.
Okay, so my mom's...
they're near 70, yeah.
Yeah, so my mom's like 75, 76, my dad's 90.
Dad's getting early signs of early onset dementia.
Oh, my dad went way beyond onset. He's full on in there now.
You're talking to him, and sometimes he completely blanks at spaces on what he was going to say, trying to remember. Stuff he's used to, taking care of all this. He's got a 5 acres little farm, all kinds of animals everywhere.
Yeah.
And doing that, he's fine. Going to work, he's fine. But it's social interactions where he kind of blanks in spaces.
Yeah, and the first time we really started noticing it with my dad was he was having a conversation on the phone with my brother and completely forgot who he was talking to and everything else. And that wasn't a big enough thing for my brother to acknowledge.
Right.
And it should have been. And then they thought, oh, it's just dad. He's being silly or whatever. It's like, no, he's having major problems. But then when we put him in the hospital, when my mom was in the hospital and we needed someone to help watch him because we couldn't leave him unattended. Like the first night alone, he So my mom went in the hospital, and we watched him and dropped him off and put him to bed, and then went home because we had nothing. I was going to come back first thing the next morning. Jessica had to go to work. I mean, I've told the story here before, but you haven't heard this. And he fell overnight, getting up for some reason.
Oh, he was just stuck on the floor?
Huh?
Was able to get up? Or?
He got up after the fact, so we did, and he was acting fine, but his side really hurt where he fell. Turns out he broke 4 fucking ribs.
Oh, that's a hell of a fall.
Yeah. Well, he fell on the unfortunate part was the highest corner of the hallway, like just where it kind of ridge, and he fell in it. But he didn't even remember why he got up at all. Like he said, he got up. He didn't know if he was thirsty or hungry. Turns out he was sick as fuck and nobody knew. Mm-hmm. So it was good that he fell.
Well, sometimes people deteriorate at such a slow rate. It's really hard for people that see them every day to be able to tell.
Well, the thing is that with us, it was not that it was so slow that we couldn't tell. Is that my mom was downplaying some of it.
Oh, willful disbelief.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was just that she didn't want... My mom is of the generation you don't talk about your problems.
Well...
You keep it as tight-knit as possible until shit goes wrong, right? Is that going to be secure there? I mean, you can set it on the table. That's fine.
Every time I put it down, it makes a noise.
It's going to make a noise no matter what. It's a big-ass fucking metal cup. It is what it is. With a big metal straw. It's actually the straw making the noise, not the cup.
Okay.
So either way. By the way, I like how slightly self-conscious you are being on camera all the time. Just know that you're not always on camera.
Still...
Yeah.
Not used to it.
Yeah, but the fact that I don't have to have 2.5 hours worth of footage straight of just us each.
Oh, so now you get to fuck with me. Look at him.
Yeah, now, well, it's deciding when. So, guys, for anybody who's listening, I am trying to live produce the show, switching back and forth on cameras. Normally, one would have a person who does that, but sitting over here to my right is literally no one. So I have no one to push this button and go, hey, now it's just me, or hey, it's just Jeff, or hey, you can see how fat we are. So I'm just going to call that the fat cam.
Fat cam.
The fat cam. And when we get a third person, I say when because these shows work better with 3 people. I have no idea who that third person will be yet, so it is what it is. And to be fair, you're in your trial stages to make sure you're good with it. Because I can talk to anybody. That's not a problem. And I know you can too. Because much like myself, you're good at sitting at the bar talking to the bartender until someone comes in interesting. And then talking to them for 6 hours.
Pretty much. That's kind of how we met.
That is how we met. So, because I go to bar, and it's the funniest thing is Jessica never understood why I can go out on my own and do things. She's like, you go to the movies alone? I'm like, yeah.
One of my favorite things in the world to do is go to a Mexican restaurant with my phone and my earbuds, relax with an audiobook, and just have a leisurely lunch.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. And with your earbuds in, you can't hear when you start farting.
Nor can you hear when you start farting at the grocery store, which is even more entertaining.
Yeah. Make people...
I might not be able to hear them, but everyone else can.
That's that old joke with the old man who doesn't have his hearing aids in and doesn't realize he's farting constantly out loud.
That's my father-in-law. He had a stroke, so half his sphincter's broken.
Half? Left or right? How does half a sphincter get broken?
Well, he walks and he's just
It comes out with a curve to it because it's that one side. How does half a sphincter go wrong?
But that boy's catalytic converter's broken. So someone stole that damn thing.
Well, I mean that's pretty prevalent nowadays. You can get like $250 for that shit,
right?
Down at the Shepherd strip yards. But either way, speaking of going to the movies by myself, so I did go on Friday to go see Dune Part 2. Not to call it Dune 2 because that...
Dune also, yes.
Dune again. Dune as well. Dune, fuck it, I don't have a third one. Either way.
Dune made me mad what it did.
So usually when it comes to movie reviews, what we'll do a little bit is we'll give a little bit of our thoughts and feelings on it, and then we'll give it a good, a bad, and an ugly. So obviously list out anything good that you thought about it. Bad will be things that that just kind of
right.
And then ugly is things you can't forgive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then a number score. So out of 10.
Well, I'm going to preface this discussion by saying I've been a lifelong fan of the Dune movies and the books and everything to do with Dune. I've got multiple collector's editions of the books. I've read the book probably 15, 16 times. Listened to it probably the same amount of times.
Yeah.
I mean, gone into the Dune Messiah, the Children of Dune, even the prequels with the Butlerian Jihad and all that stuff.
Yeah. So, since I saw it first, I'll go first because it's fair. So, just getting into it, things I liked about it right off the bat. It was gorgeous.
It was well shot.
However, I'll throw in a little bit of a bad here, and it's not about the movie, it's about the theater. So you and I saw it in the same theater, just a couple days apart.
You saw it at Cinema 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Cinema 6 anymore, but yes.
Whatever.
Yeah, Star Cinema.
Old school Conroe, baby.
Yeah. What did it used to be called? Pine Shadows?
Yeah.
Way back in the day? Yeah. Pine Shadows 6 or 4. Actually, I think it was only 4 back in the day. They added 2.
Or was that the one over by Dalton's?
No.
Okay.
I forgot that was there, but
that was ancient.
I went to that one as a kid, way back in the day. So either way, so I will say whenever they have a really dark scene, which a lot of the beginning part of this movie is very, very dark. Mm-hmm. It looks like shit and you can't tell what's going on. But I bet on a really nice IMAX screen, you can see it all in glorious darkness and perfect blackness that you're supposed to see it in. So, and once again, like there's other movies that I've downrated just the theater experience. Because one time we went and I had a broken seat. I mean, literally, it was...
Well, at that particular theater, they have to have a little bit of light for the servers to be able to see where they're going and not spill food on people.
No, they don't. Fuck that. No, they don't. It's fine. But it was just the fact that their screens aren't that up to date.
Right.
And they can't do perfect black.
Well, they spent money on seats instead of screens.
Sure. But they can't do perfect black cinema. Mm-hmm. You know. I mean, I know February just ended, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to let that joke sit for a minute. But either way, so it was beautiful. I think it was really well acted.
Yes.
And what I find really funny, and I know people will make this criticism, I haven't watched many reviews of it yet. People will probably say that Florence Pugh and, goddamn, who played the Emperor?
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
He was my favorite character of the entire movie.
Okay.
I couldn't stop laughing every time he spoke. Because I called it 100% before I saw it, exactly how he'd act. And he did. He walked in the shit out of it.
Yeah, so we made that joke Saturday. But I think that there will be people who say they're phoned in their performances. I'm like, no, that's literally how they're characterized.
I guarantee you Walken is a fan of the franchise, a fan of the books.
And that's why...
And he went, Mr. Producer, I want to be on the film.
Yeah.
Please.
Wait, have you seen that ad that keeps popping up where it's him just trying to go through normal everyday life and everybody keeps throwing their Walken impressions at him?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's how he feels every time.
Well, everybody can do a half-decent Walken.
Most people can. But either way, I think that people will criticize those performances and think that they're phoned in. It's like, no, that's the point of their characters. They're literally so far above everything else that there is no emotion to be gained.
I mean, it was either going to be Walken or Jeff Goldblum.
No, he's already been... No, they can't have Jeff Goldblum. You could have had somebody else in there.
Actually...
Anthony...
I'm thinking of the dude from Boondock Saints, the detective. What's his name? Willem.
Oh, Willem Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe.
No, because here, you know, my problem was use somebody who's less known for a dramatic role. Like, you take somebody who doesn't do dramatic roles or doesn't do silly dramatic roles. Like, a real serious dramatic actor to play that character. Because, like, he's a very short-lived character in the movie.
What, like Adam Sandler just did with Spaceman?
I haven't seen that.
Holy cow.
Is that one of his new Netflix movies?
Complete straight man.
Yeah.
Serious as hell. He's going to do a really good job at it.
Okay. But for my mind, it was just... I think people will say that their performances were phoned in. There were also a couple moments in the movies where I literally just yelled, "Fuck yes!"
Exactly.
Like out loud. And one of them, and by the way, the guys, this will be a spoilerific review. So if you haven't seen the movie and don't want anything spoiled, we're not going to go over everything, but we're going to talk about shit that happened in the movie. When he told the Reverend Mother, silence, like he shouted silence at her and she fell over, I'm like, fuck yes. It's like, considering that first scene where she commands him to walk to her. Mind you, I mentioned it earlier. I watched the first one before coming, because there's so many references.
That was later on in the film after they gained control of
everything. Yeah. But the whole point was that if you watch the first one after watching the sequel, you remember all the setup because like there's
That's one of the reasons I listened to it first.
Yeah.
The proper canon novel.
Yeah, but
Which,
I mean,
because I'm a canon whore, and there's a lot in that movie that
Canon
irritated
whore.
me, for real.
I'm gonna add a canon whore button. But for me, it was like when he shouted at her in his voice,
Right.
Because one thing that gets lost a little bit through the movies until he starts finding his own power is that he shouts in their voice usually. So when he first starts using the voice, it's their version of the voice.
Yeah.
But it's not until way later in Dune 1 where he gets enraged in the tent with Jessica that he shouts in his voice.
Yes.
And she reacts terrified because it's so much more powerful than anything else that she did. And like there's something about the her acting. I forgot the actress's name offhand. You know what's funny about that? She plays his mother, but they're only 3 years apart.
Yeah.
She's slightly older, but she plays his mother. It's like at some point there's like a weird sexual tension between them in the first movie, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
But I would think in that universe it would probably be okay because of Benny Gesserit.
But, he acted the shit out of it. That scene where the Fremen were calling him to call out Stilgar to take leadership of the Fremen.
Yes.
He got royally pissed off. And that was one of the best portrayals of that scene I've seen in what the two movies, the series, and now this one. And it was beautiful. Him just screaming at all the Fremen.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
First of all, his entire, and that's another part that I'll say was in my good, him embracing the role finally after taking in the waters of life and going in front of the entire council of everyone.
That was a hell of a speech, man.
Dude, and the fact that they said, you cannot speak here, you are not a leader, since he didn't take it from Stilgar.
And he basically said, no, I'm not your leader, I'm your duke.
Yeah, he's like, fuck you, this is my planet, I am your god now, shut the fuck up. And he just went up there and yelled at them in their own language, and then some English. But I think the only main difference...
He backed them all down and then told them exactly what they needed to hear at that point to rally them to war.
Yes. So, and I think let's see here, one other good... Because I didn't normally write these things down. We're doing this off the cuff here for myself.
The way the Harkonnen soldiers were portrayed was really, really good. The big, huge black helmets and masks, the full wrap around everything.
Yeah.
And when they leapt up on the cliff, it just kind of floated up there.
Yeah, the silent
That
floating.
was cool.
Oh, that's right, because those weren't the Sardaukar. Those
No,
are actually...
those weren't Sardaukar, no.
Yeah, they weren't using Sardaukar at that point.
You know, when they overthrew House Atreides, there were Sardaukar in Harkonnen uniform.
Yes.
And Sardaukar in Atreides uniform.
Yes. So, and we'll come back to that scene here in a bit. Oh, you mean when they threw over Atreides?
Yeah.
Yeah,
when they
correct.
threw over House Atreides.
Yes. One other good thing about this I liked was the mirroring of the first movie. It literally, like, it mirrors everything that happened in the first movie, essentially. Paul starts doing these terrorist runs against the Harkonnens as they've taken over.
I mean, over and over and over.
Over and
again.
over.
That was badass.
And then by the end, he's burning down the city and destroying it and taking it back from the Harkonnen the same way they took it from him.
That's the first movie they actually show a laser gun being used to its full potential.
Yes.
I mean, blasting those huge carry-alls, knocking them out of the sky.
Yeah.
And no wonder those hitting a shield just explodes like an atomic.
Yeah. And that was the beam, like the lasers.
Yeah, that's a laser gun.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, like, I watched a little bit of a review that said, if the Fremen had this power all this time, how the hell did they ever get subjugated? It's like, well, they weren't subjugated. They were hiding.
They just didn't give a shit. They were down in the south doing their thing.
Yeah, and they were doing attack runs with those weapons. It's like, and most of the time they either invented their shit or maybe Paul brought some shit in or taught them how to do.
Well, the Fremen in their technology were perfectionists.
Yeah.
They really were.
Yeah. And the funny part is, I think a lot of people forget they had those same guns in the first movie, which I did. I completely forgot they had them.
It
because
was
they only
so
used them in one
difficult
scene.
for them to use them, though, because the Harkonnens relied on shields so much everywhere.
Well,
that if you hit a shield, even a body shield with a laser gun,
Yeah.
the shield and the gun both explode like a nuke.
Yeah. So you couldn't use it on anything shielded.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is one of the opening scenes of the first movie is them lasing down a spice harvester.
Yeah.
The same way they do in the next one, except they were clearly far better at it the second go around because they were just fucking taking out shit right and left. They taking out ships going from orbit and all this other stuff. Had clearly got more firepower at some point, but like the visuals were great.
The score was really good.
Well, of course.
It went perfect with everything.
It's Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
I mean, he reinvented the wheel with the first one. And we did a Hans Zimmer night on
nice.
On the Patreon one night. Went through a lot of his stuff. Interstellar, this movie,
That was a good
lot
movie.
of the other stuff, where he really started playing with this weird spatial element and new instruments and completely new arrangements
Well,
that he had never
you could
done.
tell in the surround sound, he really used that spatial element and using the
Oh, yeah.
stereo and the hi-fi just to really
Yeah.
stuff coming behind you, the music building behind you, and then rushing forward and coming back.
You said Russian. Just kidding. The only thing that I would think, hold on, I'm looking up their box office. Shut up, computer. Why did it do that? It didn't like what I just did.
Nope.
I know what it did is I hit the Alt button. I should have had this pulled up already. Because I know it was like over 80 million. Domestically, 81.5 million.
That's
which
not bad.
One of the highest grossing movies of 2024 so far. And considering it's a 2 hour and 46-minute movie.
That was a way longer move than I anticipated. At one point, I was seeing yellow and had to haul ass. I'm probably going back next week or sometime this week and watching it again.
Yeah. Well, for me, I didn't have to pee. I didn't drink or anything. I
I got full meal waters. I
didn't.
You didn't want to get up?
Nope. I wouldn't, and I also didn't want to spend more money. To be fair, but
And so you didn't get the Dune popcorn thing?
no, you actually had to pre-order those.
Really?
Yeah, because
But it's still $40.
and it was from AMC, so you couldn't just get them anywhere.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have got them there anyways. But the whole thing was, all right. So going into bad, unless you got more good.
I got lots of bad.
Okay, so I figured your bad list. Now make sure to separate your bad from your ugly. So bad is just things that kind of sucked as they were.
No,
but,
bad ticked me off.
Okay.
The last quarter of the movie.
Okay, so let me since yours is probably going to be longer than mine at this point, let me go first. So the only bad I had that really stood out was no sense of time passing. So the first movie takes place literally over the course of technically a month, I guess.
Yeah.
But the main action of the first movie takes place over the course of 3 days at best. From arrival to everybody's dead to him
House
joining
of
the
Atreides
fight.
falling, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally 3 days.
And then the second book was a couple years.
Yeah. So for this movie, it goes from directly, immediately after the first movie ends.
Right after they meet Stilgar and everybody else, and he has his contest with Jameis.
Yeah.
And kills Jameis.
He kills Jameis.
They're
and
right into that.
literally right after that. And then they pick up after that. And then it goes into...
That's probably a week after they get on Arrakis.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But my point was, it jumps from there to him getting trained to be a full Fremen, to him going out into the desert, to them doing terroristic runs, to him riding a sandworm. I mean, and no 2 weeks later,
And
no 1 month later.
How fast was that worm going? That thing was booking.
70 miles an
It
hour,
was like
probably.
jumping on a train, man.
Yeah, literally jumping on a moving train. And, of course, he gets it right the first time because, well,
And the biggest one they've ever called.
yeah, which it is.
Grandfather of the Desert.
That's
Shai-Hulud.
That was the point.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. Is he's supposed to be good at it immediately.
Well, that was the prophecy.
And, yeah, it's part of the prophecy. And so that was my big bad of the movie, realistically, because I'm only basing it off of my experience with this set of movies. So one thing I like to do is to separate other experiences from this one.
Right.
So I've seen the Dune, the sci-fi part, the sci-fi redo of
Which
Dune.
one? Frank Hubert's?
I think it was Frank
The
Hubert's.
one that without Sting.
Yes.
Okay.
So not the original.
2001, 2004, something like that.
Probably the one that was on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
specifically.
That's
It was
my
a
favorite one.
miniseries, and I saw that, all the way through. But it's been a million years, and I don't remember if I even still own it. I might, but that was my reference. I never saw the original
Because
back
that was
in the
like
day.
6 hours.
Yeah. So I never saw the original.
I'm probably going to go order the collector's edition after we're done
Of
here.
course you are. But for me, not basing it off of anything other than itself.
You went with a good mindset, not comparing it to canon or anything else.
Exactly.
You went for the experience of that movie.
Yes, and that's what I try. That's one of my newest things.
And on reflecting on it yesterday, I tried to get in that mindset. But
Yeah.
they got things so. I'll get there.
Well, I mean, go ahead because I don't have much else in the bad.
They got things so out of order. First of all, they completely changed the planet ecologist, the one employed by the Emperor, Liet Kynes.
Yeah,
He was a guy. He's been working there forever.
yeah,
And he was Cheney's father.
yeah,
In this iteration,
Yeah.
Cheney was someone else's daughter.
yeah,
Liet Kynes is a female, and she's once again been working there that long, but she didn't go above and beyond like the ecologist in the book.
yeah,
I mean, he put his life in jeopardy, and so did she.
Yeah.
But where she got executed on the spot, he was drug out in the desert and left to die on top of a spice blow.
I mean, she had a heroic death.
She got eaten by a maker.
She got hit
basically.
by a worm. Yeah, but okay, so that's in the first movie. That's not this movie.
Yeah. Okay.
So
This movie, getting into it, they got everything was happy, copacetic, and loving it until about the last quarter of the movie,
Okay.
where
Yeah, where did they go wrong for you?
Aaliyah of the Knife,
Okay.
his sister,
Yes.
hadn't been born yet.
Yeah. So that's a major change.
That's
they
a
made.
major change.
And you know why I like it though, because it gives her a presence without her having to be on screen.
But being her, this creepy little 2-year-old talking, conversing with adults,
and I remember that part of it.
was
and I'm like, what
such
the fuck?
a good. Even in the book, it was such
Yeah.
a pivotal role of why she turned out the way she was.
Yeah.
Because you know,
she's-
having all the knowledge and experiences of the Reverend Mothers before her
Yeah.
in utero.
Yeah. Because of the waters of life.
So that irritated me. Her not being born got rid of one of my 2 favorite lines in the book, when they crater the wall and come down with all the sandworms to start attacking the Harkonnen capital. You hear Aaliyah the Knife in the book say, "My brother's here," just all creepy as
All
shit.
super creepy.
And then when they didn't even touch on it because, Lord, remember in the book, Cheney had a baby.
So yeah, they
Paul
skipped out
Atreides-
on the part where they made a baby and it was
But
basically
then they were
stillborn.
raided, and Cheney, the baby, and his sister were captured by the Harkonnens. They wound up killing Paul Atreides' son.
Yeah.
And they, but when they finally breached the Capitol, they finally jumped in. Baron Harkonnen grabbed Aaliyah the Knife, his sister,
Yeah.
and threatening to kill her.
Yeah.
Well, she pulls out the Atreides Gone Jabbar and scratches him, and he's dead in seconds.
Yeah. So
It changed up so much.
And I agree and you know what the thing is that each time this series has been rebooted to another somebody making it, something has been changed drastically. Having her absent didn't. I mean, I knew she was supposed to be there, but I liked the idea that she was conversing and being aware of things through Jessica. But also, when I found it creepy as fuck when she's having a conversation with Paul through Jessica. Like, it wasn't her voice, but she said she wants to know this, she wants to know this.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That was neat.
It's creepy as fuck in its own right. Having a little 2-year-old there fucking doing that would have taken the stage, I think, away from what was already a lot of important cast members. I get why you want that there.
Yeah.
Because she is an important presence.
Well, she becomes a much more important presence in the
After
the
this.
later books
Yeah.
and doing Messiah and Children of Dune.
So Messiah is
which
the
I
next
can
movie.
They're going to combine the
Yes.
last bit and Dune Messiah into the third, and I hope they push in some of Children of Dune
I think they will be so I watched
because Messiah was short, Children of Dune was short compared to the original novel.
Yeah. So Messiah is the next one, which he's already confirmed he's writing. So he's only in the scripting phases.
4 years from now, well,
Yeah, so literally 3 to 4 years. So the biggest problem they have is, of course, well, they need a time gap for Messiah. They need one. So that's fine. But one thing I didn't like is that, and like you mentioned with Chani not having the child, I found that out after the fact. Me not knowing that was supposed to be there didn't affect me, because I didn't know. So
Yeah.
going in with the ignorance actually helped me. But knowing it after the fact, I go, well, maybe they had it and they cut it because it just took away from it. But that explains a lot about why their relationship is a little fucked by the end of it. Like, why doesn't she trust him anymore? Why is all this stuff weird? And I mean, yeah, they changed how he kills the Duke probably a little bit and stuff like that.
That was my other bad.
Okay, yeah, continue on with your bad.
Well, I have one more good. I forgot I had a good.
Oh, okay, if you got more good.
The whole fight scene with Fade Rotha.
Oh, God, yeah.
That was so fantastic. I've never seen it portrayed that way. The whole stadium, everybody's pale, pale white because of the black sun. Nobody has any color in their skin.
You mean the one on Getty Prime?
Yeah, on Getty Prime.
Okay, not the duel at the end.
That was fantastic too.
Okay.
But him fighting the gladiators.
Yes.
That's the most savage and aggressive
So-
they've ever portrayed that character. I mean, he's like somebody that should have been in Mad Max.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
Which is what he is. But he's also supposed to be like this calm, cool, collected, whatever, until he's set loose in a way.
But he's also very, very easy to manipulate.
Very.
Yeah.
He spends one night with a Bene Gesserit woman, and he's just instantly in their pocket. He doesn't have Paul's
That was
intellect.
good. I enjoyed the visuals, seeing the
black
stadium,
and the
seeing the
white of Getty
people,
Prime.
the crazy, weird, blobby fireworks that were going
Yeah,
off.
because they have a black sun, so everything's different.
It was neat. It was a well done performance.
And compared to the Getty Prime scene we got from 1, which is a short scene with the Baron, which is all indoors, we couldn't see any of that.
They didn't touch on the Fade Rotha's assassination attempt of the Baron either. Remember that?
No.
That he sends a child, a boy, for the Baron because the Baron's a prevert,
Of course.
with a barbed thorn in its thigh where he would have placed his hand, and they didn't cover up the blemish from putting the barb there. So I just listened to it on the way over here.
Yes. I think it was just like, it's already damn near a 3-hour movie. So just some of this other stuff would have been 20 minutes here and there. And I think having
But my final bad was how the Baron died.
just on his fucking knees.
On his face, Paul Atreides jabbing the blade in the back of his neck, and that's it.
I mean, I was okay with it because,
It was so much funnier watching a 2-year-old kill him.
I mean, true. I could see that.
And he was just dead, bloated, hanging on his suspensor buoys.
That part, sure. Okay. So here's the funny part. This is what I call, this is what I refer to as, you don't hate what this movie did, you hate what this movie didn't do. So you're mad about what it didn't do, not what it did.
I'm a bit of a Canaanite.
So the reason this new way of thinking that I installed last year was only judge it on what it does. Because you'll never be happy if you judge it on what it didn't do.
Trust me. By
hard.
then, I'm good with it now.
Yeah.
But in the moment, my best friend Scott, best friend of 20 years, he was sitting beside me, and when Moadib runs up, jabs that knife in the back of the Baron's neck, he stands up and goes, "What the hell?"
Yeah. I mean, I
and in
was,
front, we hear people go, "I know, right?"
yeah, that's funny. And I must have been in the theater with well, mind you, I think I only saw it with like 6 other people.
Yeah.
There was like nobody at like a 2:00 showing. It was crazy. Actually, I showed up slightly late. I thought it was a 1:30 showing. It was a 1:15. Either that or they shifted it 15 minutes in between purchasing the tickets. Because I was like, I thought it was 1:30, and I get there and the previews are almost done. But I guess it was good because literally 2 previews later and it started. So I missed 15 minutes of bullshit. So okay,
Bullshit.
I did see some cool previews while I was there. But
Which ones do you like?
shit. And of course you're gonna ask that now. I forgot which. Damn it.
How that Elo cartoon looked funny?
I didn't see that.
Okay.
Okay, so that must have been in the early ones. It was, I mean, whatever the last 2 trailers were right before the movie went. That's what I
I've
saw.
slept since then.
Did you though?
For like 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly, like 5 hours. So, yeah, I completely forgot about the black and white series. I'll definitely throw that in there.
That was
because
neat.
it was a very different way of shooting. Like, because their mouths looked like pitch black and everything else like that. Light works
And then
completely
these little
different.
slave girls that were conditioned were damn near cannibals.
They were cannibals. They literally killed one of them and they ate him right there.
And he just killed people left and right without thinking about it. Dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead.
Fuck you.
Okay,
Fuck you, thanks.
knife tip needs to be sharper. Here.
Yeah, that scene was fun. Killed the guy. He's like, nope, knife tip needs to be sharper. Which he proved later, yeah, because clearly the Emperor's knife wasn't that good.
Right.
Didn't kill Paul. Though, yeah, you're right. I forgot about the final, the choreography. The fight choreography in this movie was phenomenal.
Well, the final fight between Moadib and Fade Rotha was fantastic.
Yeah, and here's the funny part. I forgot to mention this.
Because he called out the emperors.
Yeah.
He said, "Will you fight me or you choose your champion?" He went, "No."
Yeah. Yeah. And which basically also just goes back to what happened in the first movie between him and Jamis. Because he wanted to fight and kill
And Jameis wouldn't come off of it.
No, he was 100% on it.
But he was even more mellow out than the book was. In the book, he was such an obstinate, stubborn asshole.
Yeah, because he wanted to kill Jessica.
Yeah,
And he said,
he wanted them both dead.
Yeah, but he's like, I'm going to kill Jessica, and he's like, you can't kill a weirding woman. And so it's like, okay, well, who will fight for her? It's like, well, there's only one other person here who's going to do it, obviously.
That's still our tried at first in canon.
Yeah.
But that's not acceptable.
But here's the problem. What's canon anymore?
The book by Frank Hubert.
It's all canon whenever it wants to be.
Right.
This is Star Wars territory here. It's all canon when it wants to be. You can pull from anywhere you want, and as long as it's being put out in an official capacity, that's canon. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's why I don't take this shit on that level anymore. It's like, it's canon to this universe.
I guess I wouldn't if I hadn't had that book in my hand since I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
And it's something I read at least once a year.
Yeah. If I didn't know already going into it that there were multiple versions of this to begin with, let alone however many books, I would have been like, this is a great fucking movie. I got nothing to bother with, right? And then now knowing, oh, wait, no, I can watch the original from 1980 whatever, and then I can watch the redo, and then I can watch the whatever else they fucking put together and whoever else failed to make the movie in the past and all this other shit. And we're like, yeah, the problem is that turning this into a movie has always been a fucking problem.
Well, I hope they never, ever, ever try to do the prequels to try to tell the story of the Butlerian Jihad.
They're doing
where
a
the
series
machines
of something.
Where the machines take over the entire world, the galaxy.
Yeah.
And you have AI-controlled machines that are enslaving the human race and making them build giant monuments to them and making them build pyramids and all kinds of stuff.
Huh, weird.
That's why they
It's
have...
almost like humanity mirrors the AI.
That's why they have
later.
mentats.
Yeah, I know. Half people, half tech, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's why they turn to people who are evolved by spice into weird, wormy fish people things. We haven't seen any of the navigators.
Navigators.
We haven't seen the navigators.
The
in this
sci-fi
universe.
version gave you one glimpse of the navigators when they were flying from their home planet to Arrakis.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And we
the
got
voice you heard, that creepy, gnarled voice at the beginning, navigator.
That's a navigator?
Yes.
I thought that was the one doing the...
No, that's navigator.
Because it's the same voice that the Mongolian throat singing person for the...
Don't get me started.
What's the fucking Sardaukar? It was that same voice basically.
But that was a line from the book.
Okay.
But anyway, that was it. You heard a navigator.
And believe me, in the first movie, when they completely skip the scene where they go from one planet to the other and you don't see anything of the navigators, you don't see anything of the space travel, I'm like, that was weird. Why did we just end up on a big tube?
Well, you didn't really see anything in the books, though. They talked about being on board there wasn't anything to see.
Yeah.
They were on their own frigates on essentially a space truck.
Yeah.
With a whole bunch of ships attached to it.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, basically what we get here is
Star carrier. Yeah.
The Star Carrier thing that looks like a giant tube that takes them across the universe.
Yeah.
In their giant ships.
So there's really nothing to see.
Yeah. But the navigators, there's something to see.
Yeah.
Because we got that in the original
Maybe
movie.
we'll see it next when they go up and take the fight to the...
When it's going into the stars, yeah.
Yep.
So we already know that they eventually have to fight back on Caladan because we've already seen that in Paul's vision.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, all of Paul's visions have come true to some point.
And that particular vision is just massacre.
Yeah. Where he's just slaughtering billions.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, that was another good, I thought. Timothy Chalamet really selling the reluctant Messiah who knows where he's supposed to end up and doesn't want to do it.
I was really hesitant and skeptical of his role when the first movie came out.
That's what everybody said.
But he really came into his own at the second half of this one. And
Well, he's
to
so
the
much
end.
older.
Oh my gosh, it was badass.
I mean, he was a kid in the first one, realistically. Like, he's got so much more acting experience.
But as far as owning a character, he owned that character so well.
He is Paul Atreides at this point.
Yep.
You know, Moadib.
Also, yeah.
Usu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot about the other name, actually. But I do love the mouse, because the mouse does fucking play a part.
That's the only series that showed, and going back to the first one, we're not talking about it, but do you remember when they showed the kangaroo mouse sitting in the sun as the sun came up?
Yeah.
And the water came down from his
Yeah.
ears and he drank?
Yeah.
First one to visualize
Actually show
Scott
the
and I
mouse.
we saw that together too. We looked at
Yeah.
each other like, holy shit.
Yeah, they actually show Moadib, literally.
The first teacher of their young boys.
Yeah. See, I thought it was just weird. And once again, going back to the bad for me, was just skipping around so fucking much, in my opinion. It's just like, come on, man. Like, jumping scene to scene without any concept of time passing or cutting to somewhere else Like, usually if you want to show time passing like that and you want to jump to a new scene, you cut to someone else doing something else and time passed. This was literally, I'm going into the desert to taking down that spice harvester.
Well, once again, 2 hours, 45 minutes.
But they could have literally gone, hey, to anyone else and cut back, and we'll know time has passed. Because we know that he went out into the desert for the summer, however long that is.
You sure it was?
Yeah, so when he was supposed to go out in the desert and survive by himself.
See, that wasn't canon.
So he was supposed to go out there, prove himself for surviving in the desert on his own for like 2 months.
That's why I didn't see it at first.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't in the books.
Yeah. So, and that bothered me because they went, and the thing is, they even say, what?
Slow charging.
I told you not to touch it. All right, now put the light back up. Yeah, I figured the slow charging might help, but it's fine. It'll be okay.
That way.
The other way. I mean, it'll stay, but that's fine.
Sit, boo-boo.
That's probably better.
Sit, boo.
Yeah, it's fine.
Good
That's what
dog.
happens when you touch the thing. And it's on camera, too. I just got to remember to edit that out.
I'll leave it in.
No, it's fine.
See my shit-eating grin.
It's too loud.
Yay, me.
Either way. But the whole point was, it's like they jumped from him going out into the desert to try to survive to them just going and assaulting a fucking spice harvester.
Right.
Which was an amazing scene, don't get me wrong. But they went literally from that scene to that scene with
holy
no
crap.
cut to anything else.
That first assault where they were taking down the first harvester.
Yeah.
Probably a dozen Fremen got hammered by that Gatling gun.
Oh, yeah.
That thing was
they lost
vicious.
a bunch. They lost a lot of people with that
I mean,
weaponry.
God, 60, 70 rounds every time they fucking stroked that trigger.
They
It was sick.
got better at killing the Fremen at that point. But with two people basically takes down all the other bullshit. I love how they were hiding in the shadow of the legs.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, he fucked up the timing. He's like, oh shit, and starts running. It was like, yep, that's exactly what happens when he's completely not the hero that he should be.
Right.
Proving that he's not a Mary Sue like a lot of people say he is, you know? I like how we're still going back to good.
That's a good sign, actually.
There was a lot of good about the movie.
There's 3/4 good for me.
Yeah. It's just,
And that's
you
a win.
said
That's a passing grade in anybody's book.
And that's fine. So, do you have anything that's ugly that would be considered like unforgivable, you can't possibly ignore?
Other than what I've already mentioned about breaking away from canon and going completely out of order, no,
Okay,
not
leaving
really.
that out. Okay, so leaving that part out.
Leaving that out, not really. It was beautifully well shot.
So-
There was nothing horribly offensive as a fan of the
Yeah.
book itself.
The only thing that I would say, and maybe it's closer to bad than ugly, would be the fact that Chani turns on him.
She does in the canon anyway until she
But
finally
in other versions, she doesn't get, at least not there. That's not where she gives up.
See, that's where they got everything out of order and why they got everything out of order. Because at that point in this movie, they haven't had a child together.
Yeah,
they
that
haven't
we know
really
of.
committed and bonded firmly, and
Yeah.
she doesn't yet believe
Yeah.
that he is the Kwisatz Haderach,
Yeah.
that he is their Messiah.
Yeah, the Mahdi.
Yeah,
And by the way, I always thought it was interesting that his name that he chose, Moadib, sounds so close to Mahdi,
Yeah.
which is their savior. Well, part of the way their savior, because they have like several different names there.
well,
But
he chose that because he was hearing in his visions and his dreams
what he was
them chanting
supposed to be.
Moadib.
Yeah. But it was just the idea that they went from, and also I feel like they did not build up their relationship enough.
They didn't.
Not on
In
screen.
canon, it was so much stronger and closer.
And at least in the old movie that I saw, or
and she didn't fight with him side by side as much.
yeah.
They turned her into like some warrior princess.
Yeah, I was gonna say they made her more of a warrior in this, which is why she turns around and runs away. You know, she wants to be out there in the front lines fighting. Hell, he gave her an entire division to attack the capital with.
You know, she doesn't understand why he's taken that princess's hand in marriage only.
Yeah,
What they don't hear is his mother talking to her and telling her, "You will be a prince. You will be his wife in name alone. He will never touch you. You will never bear his child."
yeah.
You don't get that, and Chaney doesn't know that. At least in this movie.
I think to be fair on that factor is that they didn't get to that point because they hadn't even gotten that far past the "you're going to be my bride" so that we can politically settle this.
Yeah.
But also, he's not sharing his plans with his so-called wife in Chani.
Right.
But it's also because I think maybe...
Well, he's not sharing it with his mom either because he's still pissed at her.
Yeah, that's true. He's still pissed at her. But also, like, basically, she spent her whole time while they were apart, while he's out doing raids.
In the
South.
South.
She's in the South spreading his legend,
Basically, one person at a time.
literally just turning everyone to him, which is their goal. Always was the goal.
That's that Benny Jesuit mindset.
Always. It's always. They're always manipulating everything to get what they want. They want the Quetzalcoatl Haderach.
No, they didn't want that.
I thought they did.
No, they called him an abomination.
They didn't want him,
Yeah.
but they wanted it,
They
period.
wanted a female under their control.
And apparently what I found out was, through the video I watched earlier, their plan was that Paul was meant to be a female, and she was supposed to mate with Fade.
Yep, that's
They wanted to
100%
bring the
accurate.
bloodlines very together.
She gave her husband a son out of love instead of the daughter that the Benny Jesuits demanded.
That makes sense. But like that's what I found out. I'm like, okay, that adds a lot to it. Like we get the outrage where they made a son. Clearly not supposed to have done that. But we never got why that mattered. Because the fucking Bene Gesserit are just doing whatever the fuck they want to push their own agenda for like thousands of fucking years.
What you didn't get in the newest release is all the political intrigue and all the backstory and all the everything else that made that book twice as long as it should have been.
I
Because
mean,
there was so much politics they left out entirely. They gave you all the back history of the Bene Jesuits and why they're doing what they're doing and the family lines and everything else.
yeah, that makes sense because, well, I did like the reveal of Jessica's heritage as being born to the Duke or the Baron. Sorry.
Paul saw that when he drank the water. I mean, instantly.
Yeah, and actually, what I found out rewatching today was the Reverend Mother actually told him that the first time they met. She said, "You have more than one lineage, boy."
Yeah.
So she knew that Jessica was the son of the Baron.
Hell, even his
Harkonnen.
mother didn't know.
Yeah, she didn't know until she drank the water of life. Which, by the way, I love that scene
Where they drowned the maker.
where they drown the worm and all that, which is crazy.
The little ones are called makers.
Okay, either way. Well, you know what's also funny I found out watching this other thing was, well, what happens with Leto in the future, how he basically becomes worm god emperor. That weird shit where basically like the giant worms are not one worm.
They're essentially, if you some of those podcasts I couldn't find for you, the biology of Dune, those worms are essentially half animal, half vegetable, half plant,
Yeah.
and they grow up in multiple little ones combining to make big ones, and then growing together as a entity.
Yeah, that was the weird part. But the idea that you could take a lot of the little ones and graft them to yourself, which we may or may not see in a future movie if we ever get to the Children of Dune, I assume is where that's going to be.
I'll be on canon on that one too. So
Yeah. Well, just don't get mad if they don't do the two things you desperately needed to
I will
see.
be, but I'll be nice about it.
No, just let it go. Like, because here's the thing. It's like,
All right, Elsa.
and it's the same problem with Star Trek and Star Wars and all that shit now. Marvel even.
I'm sure Marvel's pissed so many people off.
Well, Marvel has pissed off a lot of people. One of my old co-hosts of the show, in particular, who just can't stand all the changes that are made to any particular character. It's like, but you're worried about what they did in the comics. This is not that. Accept this for what it is. If this sucks on its own without that, then you got a reason to be mad.
I think Kevin Smith said something very, very similar.
Yeah, he did. And it's like so put it this way. A lot of people were pissed off at what happened with Star Wars Episode 8. You know, The Last Jedi.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of people are very mad at The Last Jedi. So much so that Rise of Skywalker happened the way it happened.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people hate The Rise of Skywalker because they undid in every aspect what The Last Jedi did, because they felt The Last Jedi actually was right on character, right on point with all this other stuff. And mind you, they're way outside of quote-unquote canon, because there was future shit written in 12.5 different books.
Well, and
back
by
in the
what,
day.
6 or 7 different authors?
Yeah, non-canon.
Yeah.
None of the books were canon in the extended universe, or expanded universe, or whatever the fuck you want to call it back then. Now it's called Legends. But the whole point is, like, you're mad because
It's not the way they wanted it.
it's not exactly... You're mad at what you did not get.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's you bringing your own prejudice and your own baggage into someone else's story. And that's not how stories work.
That stories change. They
Stories
evolve.
change. They
grow.
evolve, especially if someone else is telling the story apart from the other person.
Right.
And you know what? Tie this back into a weird biblical sense. If you go through the New Testament, you get a lot of the different disciples writing down their version of events. And some of them leave stuff off. Some of them do it to hide things. Some of them do it just because they didn't see other parts of it. And some people include details that the other ones didn't. Which one's canon?
Right.
Right? So when it comes to Dune, which one's technically canon at this point? Because none of the movies follow the books 100%, which is one reason why people get pissed off. But let's take it to another universe. Hitchhiker's Guide. Every single version of that has been different and on purpose.
And they've all been fun.
And every single one.
That's one of those ones I can't get mad at for being different because they've been good.
So the thing is, does the fun and gorgeousness and well-actedness of this movie outweigh the bad? You can't.
In time, it will.
But in this
there
moment.
are people in the moment that are going to be irritated. Give them a bit.
But I'm saying you.
I'm one of those people.
Okay.
Give me time. Let it come out on digital. Let me watch it 5 or 6 times, and I'll probably be like, okay, this is good. I like it.
Yeah. You need it's allow distance between the thing you want and the thing you got.
It just takes time to adjust.
Yeah, and it's like that's just part of it. And mind you, I have those moments. Like I went off on Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I've never get.
So
yeah, I'm completely out of the loop. Know absolutely nothing about it.
Okay, so
I'm expecting blue people.
No, wrong Avatar. And also, nobody can ever get mad at that movie. There is no established canon other than the movies for that, except for comic books and a video game that may or may not be actual within the.
Right.
I don't know, but either way. When it came to Avatar: The Last Airbender live action version, so it's a retelling of the same story. My problem is not that they went over here and they did this shit, or they changed this part of the character, or this guy's left-handed when he was right-handed before. No, my problem was that they literally like fucking cut down the story. They cut out major story beats that are important for developing fucking characters. And mind you, I still haven't watched past the halfway mark of episode 2. That's how annoyed I was. You know, my little soapbox there. But it's not like I'm mad at they made this major change to a character, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna fucking do somehow. Like if they do Toph, like they suddenly make Toph not blind to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's where that's from.
I told you that.
That little dog I rescued before I rescued the pony.
Yeah. That's what I told you that last week was Toph was from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay, I forgot.
So she's the blind earthbender who teaches Aang earthbending.
Okay.
Which, mind you, since you have lots of time to sit and watch shows, I would honestly tell you to watch the original series. I don't know how you feel about
I'll
cartoons.
give it a shot. What streaming service?
It might be on Netflix currently.
I don't do Netflix.
I will see where it is.
Okay.
But I think it's on Netflix. Whoever has the access to Nickelodeon now, that's probably where it is. If I had to
Paramount.
guess. Might be on Paramount.
Because I was watching, for some reason, I got into watching the Wild Thornberrys from Nickelodeon.
Yeah. So original.
Because of my son doing that stupid noise.
Yeah, which is now that I've
Epic.
experienced is hilarious. So let me do a quick Google.
We need a soundbite.
I guess. Yeah. No, we need a video clip and the soundbite is what we need.
Of course, you put him on the spot, he's going to lock up.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the animated series. They call it an anime, but it's not an anime. Where is it currently streaming, you fucks? I mean, I would have thought that it's on Netflix because the new one is. Okay, so it is on Pluto, Netflix, Philo, Sling, Google Play, Vudu, Amazon, Paramount, with subscription, YouTube.
I'll go around and find it.
If you got Paramount, it's on Paramount.
Okay, I got Paramount.
Yeah, so there you go. So either way, if you have no
I'm trying to
problem
remember
watching,
why I got Paramount.
if you have no problem watching animated stuff, like I know some people do, but
I haven't really gotten into it.
It's a fantastic series. The first bit is you can tell where they decided to start making it more adult oriented versus just straight up a kids show.
Yeah.
You can see it on screen when it kind of happens.
'Cause,
But it's a dark fucking story. Like in general, like the world is basically conquered by this one nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fire Nazis basically is what it turns into. And the only one who could stand in their way is the Avatar. So they go hunt down, they try to hunt down and kill the Avatar, and they wipe out his entire people to make sure that they hopefully killed him. Because the Avatar can do all of the bending. So air, water, fire, earth.
Oh, I'm going to get there. I'm going to give it
Yeah.
a shot.
It's
I got to get
fantastic.
through my current series right now.
No, I didn't see IS because you're never going to
No.
anything else.
I jumped over to another remake of a great book. They remade James Cavell's Shogun
Oh, okay.
on FX.
Yeah, it's on Hulu for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But-
I don't know what that is. So
Have you seen the one from the 90s?
no,
Have you read the book at all?
no.
That's like a 54-hour audiobook.
I think you underestimated what I read.
Right, true.
So,
But
I-
it's about a pilot.
I read all that over there.
It's about a English pilot who is piloting a Dutch privateering vessel
Okay.
with orders of marque to sack Spanish, villages and take their gold and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Well, they wind up having hell. They go through the Strait of Magellan via a stolen rudder, pilot's maps,
Gotcha.
and wind up getting in a big storm. His captain kills himself, and they wind up washing up on the shores of Japan.
Okay. Sorry, I was just checking things. It's fine.
But it's him going through and basically doing everything he can to survive and not get his head cut off.
Yeah.
A lot of political intrigue. The book, oh my gosh, so much
Political
politics.
intrigue. That never happens.
So much. It's all politics, but
Of
it's a
course.
really good book. And so far, I'm on the 3rd episode. They're doing a really, really good job with it.
I just want to know when they're going to redo Ronin. They'll never redo that movie.
Right.
I don't think they will, anyways.
But it surprised me to see that come up
Yeah.
because it hadn't been done in early 90s, 96, something like that.
Scratching my foot. Everybody, well, no, I was going to say everybody could see it on the wide cam, but no, they can't. Oh, the light died. Didn't realize the wide cam light died. It is what it is. That one, I think that light is just, I think I left it on too many times because that was one of my extra photography lights. So it can do multicolor,
There's
whatever.
no way you can do a jumper to power that via Type-C or anything.
I mean, I could jumper it right there and make it go, but I mean, it's not that big a deal. It's the wide cam
All right.
that's being used. I keep forgetting is there, to be honest. I keep forgetting to hit that button.
Right.
I'm going back and forth between you and me and the duo. So it is what it is. But either way, so Avatar, definitely worth watching. It's 3 seasons. There is a sequel series, but if you don't like the first one, then you don't need to watch the second one.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. But the second series, Legend of Korra, so that's the next Avatar in the line. And it's after the world has evolved greatly, like technologically and everything else like that.
Is that the one where they got that big bantha-looking thing they're riding around on?
She's got a polar bear dog. Oh, you're talking about Appa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Appa's a sky bison.
Yeah, a bantha, basically.
No, it's not a bantha. Thank you. It's a sky bison. You dick.
Sky bantha. Yes, sir.
Sky bantha. You don't even know what bantha is. But either way, no, the series is great. But either way, no, a lot of people don't like the Legend of Korra. Like
I'll
I said,
give anything a
yeah.
shot. I've got 40 hours a week sitting staring at nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And you could probably get through a good chunk of it, and just every now and then. But I try to get the wife to watch it, but she can't watch animated series no matter how good they are, unless it's a fucking Pixar movie. Oh, that's what it was. There's a new Pixar movie that I saw a trailer for that looked
The
fucking.
Emotions.
No, not that one. No, not the new, not the inside.
It was the little kid getting abducted with the aliens, right?
Yes,
That was Elo.
That's Elo.
Yeah.
Okay,
That one looked really good.
I didn't catch the title. That's what it was.
It was
So-
real big at the end.
I wasn't looking, clearly. I had just literally gotten in the theater. It was on when I entered the theater.
But
So,
blah, blah, blah. Words are hard.
yeah, words are hard.
It looks really entertaining.
Yes. So, okay, yeah. So that I feel like after doing some really weird woke bullshit, Pixar is like, hey, let's go back to just doing what we were good at. And so,
Yeah, wide hips and hot moms.
first of all, that's not Pixar. That's DreamWorks. Oh wait, no, Incredible is Pixar. Sorry.
Thank you.
Something else you said the other night was not. You said Shrek. Shrek is not Pixar. Shrek is DreamWorks.
Yep.
That's very different. Oh, I did see it. I saw something on a TikTok, not TikTok, but an Instagram reel. I'm sure it's on TikTok, but they were redrawing Fiona as a Disney princess.
Oh, no.
No, it looked good,
Okay.
but it was like they were overlaying it. Like, so they took her image, like her standing there cross-armed, looking like a badass, and they were just basically like changed her dress to make it more Disney princess, like give her long flowing hair instead of the bun, changed like the eye makeup and stuff like that. As like still look like Fiona, but Disneyfied. I was like, that's kind of cool.
They didn't, turn her into human or anything.
It was the human one, not the shark, not the
So
ogre
I
version.
forgot who told me that. Someone really thought Michelle Rodriguez would have been a really good likeness for Fiona.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up.
I'm just telling you what somebody told me.
All I know is I'm tired of live action remakes of animated fucking movies, and they keep doing this nonsense.
That's because they can't come up with anything original.
I know, but it's not even Disney anymore. There's other ones doing it. Oh, you know what? I don't know how real this is, but I saw somebody do a fucking short on it the other day, and it was they're remaking The Land Before Time, but in CG.
Oh no!
But they look like the actual dinosaurs,
like they did with The Lion King.
Yeah, not making them look real. They're animated, like cartoony looking, but they look dumb. They look really dumb. And I'm like, and the guy was literally like, look, if the fans could take Sonic from looking like this to looking like this, we need the outrage so that they make them at least look like the fucking characters we know.
Yeah.
And
because them looking dumb's going to make the whole Littlefoot's mom dying scene that much.
And I'm going to be honest, I don't want that.
No.
I mean, like, I didn't want the sequels to Land Before Time because they all turned into Disney movies. Yeah. They all had musical numbers. There was no musical number in the first one.
The first one was just depressing and scary.
It was a dark, sad fucking movie.
Which I think that's a lot of the problem. Kids need to know dark, sad, and scary is okay to deal with.
Yeah.
And know how to get around it and deal with it.
They know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And through the power of
instead of
friendship and
everything
love.
being happy and just go lucky, you need to get knocked on your ass once in a while.
So let me ask you this. So Land Before Time was my first movie in theater experience, period. What was yours?
Ooh. The one I remember most vividly.
No, do you know the first movie you ever saw in a theater?
Either Lion King or the one that really stuck with me was Jurassic Park.
But that was early days. But do you remember but by then you would have been 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So, because you're only 2 years younger than me.
Yes.
Which we found out last time, and I'm still not over it.
That really bugs you.
Yeah, because I always thought you were older. I mean, I thought you were slightly older, but I didn't think you were younger.
I'm younger, better looking.
Sure. Tall doesn't mean better looking. Either
Always.
Way. Okay, so
can cook.
Okay,
raises that a lot.
So the story of me going to see Land Before Time was actually a story of a movie that I never saw.
Yeah,
and that was not Milo and Otis. I did see Milo and Otis. No, Oliver and Company. So Oliver and Company was out at the same time as Land Before Time. When we went to go see it, my mom took me into the movie theater. It was sold out. This was back in the day before you were pre-ordering shit.
Yep.
We went to the theater. They were out of fucking tickets, or maybe they just didn't have two for Oliver and Company, which was an animated animal retale of course, Oliver Twist. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that until way later in my life. So we went and saw The Land Before Time instead. So soul-crushing fucking movie.
First you're upset and then you're depressed.
Yeah. And like so and fun fact, I have literally never seen Oliver and Company. I'm 41 fucking years old and I have never seen and people always give me shit about movies that I haven't seen. I mean like The Princess Bride. I've never seen The Princess Bride. But if I was a kid when I saw it, I could feel different. I'm 41 fucking years old. I have no interest in watching The Princess Bride.
True.
So I can't watch that as a fucking 8-year-old again. So why do I want to watch it as a 40-year-old who can never experience that as the 8-year-old who's supposed to watch it? I don't care. I should care as an 8-year-old, but I'm 41. I can't fucking care that way anymore. I've got no problem with.
See, that's probably why I'm having trouble with the Airbenders, because people got into them when they're in elementary school, junior high.
Dude, okay, look,
it's not something that didn't have a hold of my childhood.
I was 20. It wasn't. Look at it that way. You were only 18 when that show came out.
Yeah,
it came out in 2004.
You know what I was doing?
Well, not 18. You would have been a little older.
Basic training.
Yeah, you were in basic training.
I was busy.
That's why you didn't see it. But if you had it, you would have. I guarantee you. Because it's that good of a fucking show. Hold on. I closed it already. Yeah, I think it came out in 2004.
But
so 04, look at it this way. In 2004, I was fucking 22. 21, 22.
I was just about to start working at the sheriff's department. I started there in '05.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, we were young adults. Not even teens. We were young adults when that shit came out. And I loved that from fucking minute one.
I'll say, and at that point, I was already married with a kid, about to be married, kid about a year later.
Yeah.
So my youth, my wild days were being dad.
Which is funny because like there's still, I mean, obviously I still watch animated series nowadays. I still watch anime. I still watch other cartoons. I watch fucking Pixar movies for God's sake, which is just the new version of what we had when we were kids. but it's
I still like the Despicable Me series, the Minions, all that. They
you know
crack
what?
me
I
up.
still haven't seen the latest one.
They make me laugh so much.
Dude, Minions was so goddamn funny. Like, and I shouldn't laugh at it, and I hated to laugh at it.
Every time I hear a damn fire truck running away, I hear the Minion acting like a fire truck going,
Yeah.
Beedoo,
Beedoo,
beedoo.
beedoo.
I do it
Yeah.
every damn time.
Dude, and I think it's just because we're of that age, or we're of that generation who grew up on happy shit, but also grew up on darkness.
And dark, happy, stupid.
Yeah, dark, happy, stupid, or meaningful, dark, sad. Because that's the other thing. It can be dark and sad, and we're still good.
You know,
like, okay, Never-Ending Story.
That's a dark, dark movie.
Dude, when a fucking...
Artax.
Artax fucking swamp of sadness. It's like, literally, I'm crying now.
I'm getting you the potted plant figures.
No. I don't need that.
Fine, I want them.
You can have that. That's fine. I don't need more shit.
No, you mentioned the first movie. I don't have a first movie. I have a series of movies that encapsulated my young childhood.
Okay.
It was like Five Will Goes West.
Sure.
The Rescue Rangers.
Okay.
Remember where they go to...
Rescuers.
The Rescuers, where they go to Australia?
Yeah. Rescuers Down Under. Which
Yes.
I never saw the first one until way later. But I had Rescuers Down Under on VHS. I didn't see it in the theater.
Movies of that genre. One of the Homeward Bound.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic movie.
I mean, you're literally only 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So you grew up with the same movies I did. But it's funny that you don't remember your first theater experience, because I remember that.
I don't.
Now, Jurassic Park, though.
Well, theater experiences were never that big a part of my life. My dad was a cop, and then my mom was a teacher, so we didn't have a ton of extra cash going around.
Well, same. I mean, like, my problem was my parents had no time. They were both professionals, at that point. And
it was go outside, get out of the house.
we were
leave us
still in
alone.
Houston. We were still in Houston, so I had to have been 5 or 4 years old at that point. I guess I could look up when Land Before Time came out, because I feel like that was like 1987, 88. But that would be 4 years old, 5 years old. Yeah, because we moved in 88. The only reason I remember that is because that weird dichotomy of not this movie, but this one.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, remembering watching Littlefoot's mom die on the big screen. And it might have been that's what set my love of dinosaurs off. Mm-hmm. And also why I reacted to Jurassic Park the way I did. Because, like, when I saw Jurassic Park in theater, when it first fucking came out back in 93, dude.
That was one of the most wonderfully cinematic wonderful cinematic experiences at anybody'd ever have at that up to that time.
Yes. But, like, part of my overactive imagination that I even still have nowadays, whenever we left out of there, because the first Jurassic Park movie was also a little bit of a horror movie to some degree. We came out of there, and it was one of the first times we had gone into the theater when it was still light out.
This is
and
a
it was
Jeff
dark.
statement.
Okay.
Not as scary as the book.
True. I've read the book. It's one of the books I have read.
Have you read the others?
I started reading Lost World and never finished it.
Okay.
So, but
Michael Crichton was a prolific author. He was great.
Oh, I'm aware.
Did you read Eaters of the Dead?
No, I just
that
know about
became the 13th Warrior.
I know. I heard about that eventually. Yes, which I love that movie.
Hell yeah!
It needs to be tweaked a little bit, but I like that movie.
That was good.
Anyway, so Jurassic Park, I come out of the fucking theater, right? And the theater we're at it was an AMC. No, yes, it was the AMC that existed in Humble before the one in the mall.
See, I'm here post 99 to present.
Okay. So this was 93.
So ninth grade to now.
So it was just a normal theater with big ass glass windows out front. You know how they do. And for me, when we stepped out of that theater out into that lobby, my overactive imagination went T-Rex smashing through the windows to come and kill us.
Nice.
And I freaked out a little bit. I think it was one of those ones. It must have been late in the afternoon because I think it was dark by the time we left, which is a weird experience. If you've never gone in when it's light out and come out when it's dark, that's a weird fucking experience.
Or yesterday, bright needed sunglasses. Go inside and I can't see anything anywhere.
Yeah. Oh well, I love that about that theater is when you open the door and the windows are so fucking tinted. it's so dark. Like yesterday we left from church, and I know this because I go to this theater all the fucking time because right fucking there. Open that door and I'm just like,
or going into the theater.
No, I'm talking about going out.
Well, I
leaving.
didn't have Scott bought my ticket, so I just went right in the theater.
Yeah.
Opened the door, bounced off the wall because I didn't see it.
Oh, because it's too dark. No, I'm talking about walking out into the parking lot in the broad daylight
Yeah.
when those windows are tinted at like 5%.
Yeah.
So it's like it looks like it's night outside until you open the door, and I don't have sunglasses anymore, so I was just instantly blinded.
I can't live without them. I had LASIK in 2008, and I'm light sensitive as hell.
Last year around October, one of the lenses popped out of my glasses and fell out of the truck, so I couldn't recover it.
Really?
So, yeah.
I'll tell you a company to get with later.
Well, I need prescriptions, so that's the problem.
Same
I know.
company.
So I don't know, but it's all about the insurance. And the
Yeah,
money.
true.
And I just haven't. I need new glasses. Period. Like my regular glasses are laying here.
Oh, I finally had to buy
Somewhere.
my first set of reading glasses.
Yeah.
Cheaters.
Oh, I don't have to do that.
Well, I was reading it was a thing of Tiger Balm, this stuff you put on joints.
Yeah.
I was reading the ingredients, and I can't. Amy, give me your reading glasses. Holy shit, they work. I'm old.
Too much work in the shop. I can still see up close. Well, what's funny is I take my glasses off to read shit close. Like I'm the opposite. So my glasses, I'm nearsighted. So
Oh, and it's about to get worse. My son and I are about to start welding like crazy.
yeah, wear fucking things.
We're getting protective gear.
Yeah. I got rid
'cause
of
all
my
the-
welder.
Yeah, I know about protective gear.
Yeah. So like I never had one of the good visors. So I just welded with my sunglasses for the most
Oh, dumb.
part. No, it was fine.
Yeah.
I don't need eyesight. It's fine. I mean, I didn't weld much.
Who
I
needs
just-
retinas?
I mean, close your eyes. You're good. Lay a bead down with your eyes closed. I mean, I'm just welding this thing to that thing. I'm good. It's fine. None of my welds were perfect, anyways. I mean, I had a visor, but it was a
None of-
shitty like $10 visor.
None of my welds are perfect. My grinds are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. What was I just thinking? I don't know. The beer is kicking in. and the AC just kicked on again. So unfortunately,
been the tequila.
it's like 85 fucking degrees again today.
That's Texas, man.
I know, but it's fucking March.
We got a couple days next week where it's going to get down to the 40s again.
I mean, like overnight's fine, but it's just I stepped out earlier.
See,
to go-
I'm not looking forward to these sticky nights because I sit there with the windows down, just soaked in sweat.
Yeah.
Or like tonight, I've got my lawn chair, and I'm going to sit back, kick back behind my work vehicle, and
Yeah.
just relax, sit out with my Kindle and read.
Let me pause for just a second. So, guys, I just wanted to say hi, wide angle camera. Jeff's in the bathroom right there. It is what it is. I have to wait for him to get out. I still got laundry to do when this is over. Like I've got a load in the wash that I have to pull out and put in the dryer. And all this other stuff. Look at this pulling Jessica hairs out of my shorts. It is what it is. Look how fat I am. Y'all shouldn't be able to see this. To be fair, that is a bit of a fisheye. It is a little bit of a fisheye lens. I'm not actually quite that fat. I am still pretty fat, but not that fat. If I'm honest with you. Yeah. I don't think it's tequila. I think it's a beer, to be honest. But yeah. So these guys right here, 90-degree adapters so that we can change this from a straight out to a 90. You know, there's the fact that is even a thing. I think is crazy. Let's see. Can I peel this? It's not open. Oh, there it is. Yep. Okay. Haha. Success. I'll probably do a video on one of these. So it's got the little locking clip there, but that's the female end. That's the male end. So you can use it either there or here. So realistically, there's a screw you can undo right there. You can do that, and then you can turn it. You pull it up a little bit, and then turn it, and you can just readjust it every 90 degrees. Yeah. So I want it basically like there. So I'm gonna have to rotate that bitch 180. That's annoying. I'm just continually talking about this bullshit while you were gone.
Okay.
Fucking A.
Huckabee has more holes.
No. It's only got 2 holes. And A has one big open end.
But 2 dicks down at the end.
Maybe. If you look, I see it as legs. Hey, go ahead and pull the mic all the way to you. There you go. Yeah, because you keep leaning back, and I get it, because I'm on this stupid side too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that way you sound really nice. There we go.
Very nice.
Very nice. But yeah, I was just looking at the new thingy. So you can actually take out the little screw, and then you rotate this 90 degrees. So basically have it like that. So it'll go that way.
Yeah, that'll route it better, put less stress on your cables.
In theory. Or it'll add extra interference for some reason.
That was my next comment.
Yeah. So, like, maybe not. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'll try it out one day. Because this is kind of annoying, especially with, like, just cable management. Because the old way of doing this was just USB cord and
then zip tie.
That's
down.
Exactly what I had. Had it zip tied all the way down here and then all the way down there. Actually, I didn't. No, I didn't use zip ties. I used these Velcro. Straps.
Okay.
Yeah. So that way it was strapped to the thing.
Less permanent.
Yeah, less semi-permanent. So either way, oh,
Nice.
That was a good one. I felt that. So I was supposed to have a chiropractor appointment today. I moved it to tomorrow.
I have one Wednesday.
Oh yeah, who do you go to?
Dr. Wallen up in New Waverly.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Dude, he's great. He takes cash only, $55 a visit.
Damn.
He doesn't prescribe anything. He utilizes TENS units to begin with, and
Yeah.
he does all the physical adjustments afterwards.
I did earlier.
I hate him. I've had probably 3 or 4 live taser training courses,
Yeah,
and I hate electricity.
Oh, I
I
love it.
absolutely hate it.
I love it because I've been shocked in either way.
You ever hit a distributor coil by accident?
I did worse.
They bite hard.
Oh, you know what bites worse? And I told the story here.
What,
but-
110, 220, 440?
Yes. However, I was installing a neon kit on my car, and I wanted to test the bulbs first. And my dumbass, not thinking how electricity works, I'm holding the ends of the wires together to test this. So from the transformer to the bulb, and I'm holding it like this.
Oh, no.
Yes, 90,000 volts at 0.5 amps
Yeah.
or ohms or whatever. Like hardly, like barely any amperage, but high voltage.
I caught a good one when I lived in Cut and Shoot. We had it's called electrobraid. Use it to contain horses.
Yeah,
It's a
of course.
nylon rope with metal wires.
Oh, I'm aware.
I was sitting there.
I've run into those.
I was sitting there weed eating, doing something.
Yeah.
And I leaned too far forward, it flipped under my ball cap, caught me right above the bridge of my nose.
Yeah.
And you remember when you were a kid, you'd turn off the TV and you'd hear, pew,
Yeah.
that noise.
In your head.
And I woke up on the ground,
Yeah.
fuzzy, coming slowly light. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. So I've never been shocked directly to my face, but I will say that
But I'll never forget that noise.
yeah, I bet.
Pew.
Yeah, that was
Turned me off.
That was those last 10 brain cells dying. So because I played with other electricity. Like my friend bought or tore apart a radio and pulled out the actual transformer and made a shocking device. So everybody hold hands, and the first 2 hold wires. See how far we can shock, and we get around the whole group. So whatever, we played with electricity. Plus, just every now and then working on the car, you accidentally arc something, and you go, "Whoa, all right then."
Right.
12 volts, that's fun. 12 volts will fuck up your day, though. But with this 90,000 volts, usually you feel it like through your fingers, up to your hands.
Depends on the battery and the cranking
This was up to my
amps.
fucking elbows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, like literally, and my friend flipped the switch because I already had it wired up, right? So I just needed it to do it. And I'm like, turn it off! Everybody who's on video got to watch that. And so they turn it off, and then I fall back and I drop it. Thank God it didn't break, because I'd have been real pissed off. My brand new neon bulb broke. And it broke eventually when I had a cat at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, my street glow just broke and fell apart after the last flooding
that's
we
a
had.
street glow too. Way back in the day.
Yeah.
Old street glow. But yeah, dude, that hurt. That hurt something fierce. Now, mind you, I shook it off pretty quick, but like at that point, I'm like, well, not doing that again. I was just like, they work. We're good. So let's not ever hold that ever again.
I'm not allowed to play with electricity hardly ever.
Yeah.
Unless I'm supervised.
Well, it's a good thing you're buying a welder,
Right?
which is nothing but electricity
But we,
or fire.
We've got a old microwave. I'm thinking about tearing the
No. No. That will kill you and your family.
with the aid of one of my
No.
very good friends.
No. No, you don't fuck around with microwave transformers. No, those things will fucking kill
Keep
you.
saying no, I'm gonna. Have you seen the fractal burning they do
Yes,
on tables? That's what I want to do.
So, I think that's how I killed my fucking
Cat?
welder. No. I think because I tried to do that.
We tried it too with our ancient Lincoln.
Yeah.
And we cranked it all the way up, nothing.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. Nothing happened. It just couldn't hit that voltage.
Yeah.
But no, I wanted to do that same exact thing, but I had the welder and I wasn't using it for anything.
Well, then help me build it safely.
No.
All right, Walken.
I will not be part of this.
No.
I will film it.
It's a bad idea.
No.
Sometimes.
Jeff, you
I wonder
shouldn't
what it'd
do
be
that.
like to be a crocodile.
Sorry, that was more Valley Girl. He's kind of half Valley Girl when he does it, realistically. It's like New York Valley Girl.
But it doesn't matter what movie he's in. He's exactly the same, much like Sean Connery used to be.
Yeah, Sean Connery, no matter what he did, or even better,
I'm a Russian submarine commander.
Yes. No, why am I drawing a blank? Not Clint Eastwood, the other one.
Tiger Woods.
No.
No.
The other cowboy played in fucking everything. Why am I drawing a blank on his name?
What? Big bushy mustache?
No.
Robert Duvall.
No.
No.
He just was in all the cowboy movies.
John Wayne.
John Wayne, yes. So John Wayne,
You should have said all the cowboy.
sorry, but when he played fucking Genghis Khan.
John Wayne played Genghis Khan.
You've never seen
No.
that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, they legitimately like paint him slightly orange with a mustache, and he talks like himself.
Oh my gosh.
Playing Genghis Khan.
At
How
least
have
when
you
they
never
did
seen
that
this?
to Peter Sellers, he
Hold on.
at least tried to.
Hold the fuck on. I'm gonna pull this shit.
Did you ever
up on
see Peter
YouTube.
Sellers playing a Chinese individual?
Yes,
A movie called Death by Murder.
I think I've seen that. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I'm on YouTube. I'll just search YouTube. Give me a second. Continue.
But that movie, for people that like good comedy, good, just stupid old school comedy, is a great movie. Peter Sellers, Peter Falk's in it. He plays basically Columbo.
Yeah, there it is.
Do I need to come over there and see it?
Yes, you fucking do. Take off the
The hat.
Yeah, hold on. Oh, I guess you got to be able to hear it.
He told me
Well, I'm thinking you were going to take it with you. I forgot you're not attached.
that has an
All right.
extension.
That might have been the most horses on screen back then.
Man, he was reaching, wasn't he?
I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm trying to see here. If
A
there's
lot of those movies. I don't know. There's still some John Wayne movies I watch and still enjoy. El Dorado, Rio Bravo,
yeah, this is one
Rooster
that,
Cogburn, True
this one-
Grit. All those are great.
Yeah, this one they definitely want buried forever
Yeah.
because it's just that bad. It's called The Conqueror. Let's see if this.
You return empty.
I know there's one scene that's really bad.
Not so, fine gazelle. Now we seek bigger game.
I mean, it's just, he might as well be a
How many
cowboy in
markets
China.
Did you observe? 30? No more. We'll take twice that number. Call Bagurchi and Sabaya.
I honestly think it would have been worse if he would have tried to do a Chinese accent.
But he's not even acting worth a damn.
No,
the
he's being
problem.
himself.
Yeah, he's literally being himself. This
Well, look at all the movies and how much money he made by being himself.
I mean, did he? Though?
That's what he knows.
By the way, I've realized that I was on your camera that whole time, so they literally saw nothing while you got up and walked over here. So that's fine. I'll pull that part anyways for copyright problems.
Yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah.
Anyways, no, that was just ridiculous because there's other scenes in there where you feel like he's just going to call somebody a pilgrim. You know, I don't think you should attack that big wall, pilgrim. You know, that kind of shit.
Look how shitty wall. You stupid Mongolians.
Literally. Now I'm trying to remember. Was it The Simpsons?
No, South Park that had
No. I know that was South Park. But I'm talking about I think it was The Simpsons, and it was one of the things when they were dealing with the devil, and they're like, "Oh, you gotta quiet down. You're gonna wake up John Wayne." And he comes out and he's like, "I'm already up," like he was in hell. I don't even know if he was dead at that point. They made that joke. He had to have been dead at that point. Either way, I'm gonna put this away. So are you aware they're making a new Superman movie?
with the black guy, right?
No.
No, then
No. Yeah. No, so they have a new Superman called Superman Legacy.
okay.
So they got the new Superman. He's a young up and comer. So to
See,
speak.
I haven't been up to date on any of the new ones. I didn't see the
Yeah.
Henry Cavill Superman or
What?
any of that.
You never saw Man of Steel?
No.
Okay, that's homework.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a good fucking movie. Like people give the battle with Zod and his forces a lot of shit.
Was Henry Cavill in Superman versus Batman?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw Batman getting his ass kicked for 2 hours. And
Okay,
bitching
so you
about
saw
it.
BVS.
Yeah,
Did
with
you see
Batfleck.
But did you see Justice League?
No.
Okay, so you got to see Man of Steel because or else you got no setup for the whole fucking universe, especially for later on.
I'm about to dive into both the Aquaman. Well,
Those are take it or leave it. I haven't seen the second one yet.
yeah,
It's on streaming now.
It's staring at me on streaming.
When
so.
it gets down to about $5, I'll watch it. I'm not gonna pay real money for that movie. It's the last movie of the old DCEU, so I'm not interested. But they finally showed some on-set teasers for the new Superman movie. So the guy looks the part, and they're going with is it the world's finest? I forget which version of the Superman uniform, but it's not the black background; it's the yellow background on the S.
Oh, the old school. I like
the
it.
old school. So, and he does have the shorts. He does actually have the fucking shorts.
Because he lost that bet with Chuck Norris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does actually have that. But my biggest thing is the fact that the new Lois Lane is what I'm interested in.
Okay, who?
Have you ever seen Marvelous Miss Maisel?
Yes.
Her.
Really?
Yes.
Decent fit.
Yes.
I think it's going to be all right.
Yeah. But not redhead. So I'm going to be
My
sad.
wife absolutely loved that show.
The show's amazing. It's fucking, like, season 5 was so weird. The final season. Like the weird time jumping season.
Okay.
But we still enjoyed it. Like, because it was going back and forth between the 50s and the 60s and, like, the 90s. Like, just they were doing, like, a 30-year time jump back and forth to see, well, this is how things turned out. How did we get there? That kind of shit. But either way, Rachel Brosnahan playing her, I was like, yes, please. I need those tits on screen. She's a good actress. She's funny. Like, she can do funny and serious, and that's Lois for me. Like, I feel like some of these Lois lanes have been played in recent decades have been way too serious and lose a lot of the fucking humor and wit.
Right.
And that's all she is. It's like I just want to see like without the Jewish accent and all that stuff. But I want to see
the New York accent.
Yeah, I want to see
Jewish accent.
Well, she does have a Jewish kind
New
of
York.
accent. Well, it's New York, but they were a Jewish fucking family in that. So I mean, like I basically just want to see her. I guess like in reality, they've had a lot of redheads playing Lois, which I find weird. But either way, so look forward to her. And in theory, this one is not a new. Is it the same story just retold? No, I think they're actually going because he's established as Superman, and I think this is where his son is born.
Okay.
I think so. They're going with because Superman legacy, so they're worried about the legacy. So I think this is when John Kent is going to be born for the first time on fucking actual silver screen, as it were. Because Superman's kid has never really been a thing. Oh, and so here's the funny part. So you haven't seen it, but in Justice League, there's an entirely cut subplot that is supposed to be a part of it. Or was it in BVS? No, it was... Now I got to remember, which movie was it part of? Justice League. So Justice League obviously came after Batman vs. Superman. There's a subplot where Lois is pregnant with Bruce Wayne's baby.
Okay.
And they cut that for obvious fucking reasons. Like, so basically, in the end, they were saying that while Superman was dead at the end of BVS, that she hooked up with Bruce at some point, and because she takes a pregnancy test and shit like that in Justice League, and you see that she is pregnant, but you're supposed to believe that it's Clark's baby, but then you go, Clark's been dead for months. So, and they were supposed to do a sequel movie to it. Justice League 2 was supposed to take place a lot in the alternate timeline where everything went wrong. And you're supposed to find out the big deal about Lois dying was that Clark found out she was pregnant with Batman's baby. And that was part of it. So she didn't die just because she died because he lost control and killed her.
Yeah.
So he killed Lois and turned on everyone that he cared about because of Batman.
Well, I still got more homework then.
Yeah, lots of homework. It's
Well,
fun.
I'm still working my way through The Boys. Season
The
3.
Boys is fucking fantastic. Can't wait for season 4.
I'm working my way through season 3.
Yeah, season 3 is great. Make sure you watch Gen V afterwards.
Yep, I already have.
Yep. Oh, you have? Okay.
Is that the one where they talk about the kids in the little, not the school, but
Yeah.
yeah, that.
Yeah. So that's the sequel to season 3. So
Yeah.
you're actually ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, so that happens after season 3. So there's a lot of
I just had to stop because it just got so angry and so intense that I just had to back off a little bit, watch something lighthearted.
Okay, yeah. It makes sense.
Put on Friends.
Yeah. Basically. But I really enjoyed Gen V because it was more boys content.
Still, that first episode, first scene was insane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Just set the tone for the whole damn series.
Yeah. I mean, the boys itself is ridiculous.
Well, the first scene from the first episode of season 2 where the dude crawled up the guy's backside and
Not his backside, his front side.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the point.
Oh.
Yeah, he went in the small
A
hole.
bit more than just the tip. Good God.
Yeah, that was why he was going down a very long tunnel with a tiny hole at the end.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's why they don't recreate that scene.
Oh, they shoved the bomb up the other guy's ass.
Yes.
Okay,
that's what it was. You're confusing about what exploded what orifice. Which, to be fair, in The Boys is easy to get confused. Because they do.
A lot of stupid shit happens.
They do put a lot of things in other people's orifices to kill them. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. But if you finish Gen V, it sets up a lot of the plot that's going to happen in season 4. So that's why you kind of have to watch it. It's not just a off to the side show.
I've got my list on my phone, and
yeah. So once you finish season 3, finish watching Gen V if you didn't.
Yeah.
And it sets up the plot for season 4.
Yeah.
Because the one of the big important things that they're altering from the comics is how they deal with the soups, and that happens in Gen V. So that's why it's
I'm looking
important.
forward to it.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they created a show that virtually features none of the main actors from the main series and still manages to carry its own water.
Yes.
And I like that. And it's like a lot of shows falter really hard, and then they have to rely on cameos. Now, there are some very important cameos in Gen V, like Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy, which is weird if you've watched that before watching season 3, because Soldier Boy only appears in season 3.
Right.
But he does a good job even playing a not real version of Soldier Boy. And then, like, I think, obviously, Homelander is always around because he's fucking Homelander.
Right.
My biggest issue with the show is that they're making Homelander out to be the Trump.
Basically a buffoon.
No, they're fucking trying to make him to be the... They're almost on screen making him like the MAGA type.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah, but that's their goal. They want like all this stuff, and like he's going on trial in the future, and all this other stuff for things he's done, and all this other shit. And I'm just like...
So I guess I need to watch the... I'm getting them confused.
What?
Homelander's the one on defense, going on trial and all that.
Homelander's their Superman.
Yeah.
So when he goes, he's not on trial.
I was getting him confused with John Cena in that other series.
Oh, Peacemaker.
Yeah, Peacemaker.
No, Peacemaker's fantastic.
So
Love that
worth
show.
watching?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Love that fucking show, dude. I would definitely rewatch it if I still had access to it.
Right.
But Peacemaker Season 2 is underway, and they kept a good amount of people, but because it's in the new universe, so they have to pretend like they didn't shift universes and carrying on with the same story.
It still confuses me.
Yeah.
The two universes on the Suicide Squad.
Okay, so there's not two universes for Suicide. It's the same universe.
Which one had the shit weasel? Oh, the
Weasel.
The wereweasel.
That was the sequel.
Okay.
So there's Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad.
Because I watched Suicide Squad first.
Okay, so
with Will Smith.
That's the first one.
And then the Suicide Squad,
which is the sequel
with John Cena and the wereweasel.
Yes. So
that was a creepy looking thing.
He's meant to be. And you know what's funny is that's James Gunn's brother.
Really?
Yeah, the Sean Gunn playing that character.
It didn't last long, did he?
No. Yes, he did.
Dude, he got killed on the beach.
You didn't see the after credits.
No, I didn't.
He comes back alive on the beach.
Oh, sweet.
Because they were joking that he's a werewolf, and at the end he comes alive staring up at the full moon on the beach.
Okay,
so
I missed it.
So Weasel is still alive. So
cool.
That. Yeah.
So I get to see him in Peacemaker.
No.
Oh.
so there are no recurring superhero characters in Peacemaker from Suicide Squad.
Okay.
So you get a whole new run of characters because it's everybody working for Amanda Waller and stuff like that. So Peacemaker basically have to come back and try to be a good guy after being a bad guy, but he also has his dad as a supervillain.
Oh, don't spoil it. I'll
No, I'm not spoiling anything.
I'll jump into it.
But that's the makeup of the character. So, what's his name? Patrick. Oh, who played T-1000 in Terminator? You know who I'm talking about?
Flanagan.
No. No, Robert Patrick.
Okay.
So I knew Patrick. So he's his dad. And he plays, my brain wants to say White Devil, but I know that's not right. But he is very much of that. He's a Nazi. He's a Nazi supervillain, basically. So it's a very interesting character dynamic to see Peacemaker, who's gone through all this stuff, and like what he does in that movie weighs on him through the series.
Okay.
So that's good. So it is a continuation. So all of that is a continuation. But they basically what they did with the second movie was fix a little bit of what they fucked up in the first movie. But technically speaking, the first movie happened. We're just not talking about it. So that's just how that works. That's why there's Harley and Flag back, but everybody else is new, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, with the new Peacemaker series, it has to take place in the new James Gunniverse. But they set up sequel bait in the previous series. So I don't know if they're going to try to continue it, but pretend like they didn't do certain things that were only pertaining to the original DCEU.
Okay.
Because, well, you have not seen Peacemaker. Sorry, I was about to say something.
No.
I mean, it's not a giant spoiler,
Go
realistically.
for it, because I won't remember.
It's literally the tail end, the last fucking thing that happens, period, is they made a joke about calling the Justice League for help because they find out what they're doing is way bigger
Okay.
than they thought. So they're trying to handle it with like a 5-man team, and they realize we're way the fuck out of our depth here. And it's like, we should call the Justice League because it's established in Black Adam that Waller has Superman in her back pocket somehow. Mm-hmm. So we get some of the Justice League coming to help after the fact, including Superman, Aquaman, The Flash, and Wonder Woman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is it still the same Flash from the series?
Yes.
Nice.
So he's the only... It's him and I believe actually Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Yeah.
And then you don't see Superman and Wonder Woman. You just see their silhouettes.
Yeah.
It's clearly them, but they didn't get the actual actors. So they show up after the fact, and he basically tells them to fuck off or whatever.
I got this.
Yeah. He's like basically glad you guys showed up for cleanup, basically. No, it wasn't I got this. It's literally after everything
really?
happened. Yeah. They showed up literally after the fact. And he's pissed off at them because it would have saved a lot of lives had they shown up on time. But that could have come down to Waller not calling them on time, to be fair, because she's very much a fucking cunt. But that's literally that's her character. Cunt.
She played a good one in
Super
the
cunt.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, same actress, everything.
For both of them, same actress?
Yeah, they kept her the same.
Really?
All through.
God, she was a witch, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cold bitch.
She's a cunt. It's fine. But either way, so yeah, no, I really enjoyed Peacemaker. I thought it was going to be really dumb.
That's where I'm sitting right now. So I'll take your word for it and give it a shot.
It is really good. It is super fucking well done. Super well done.
All right, so which one's the homework?
Well, Peacemaker's one season, so that's easier to manage.
Okay. That can be homework.
So if you want to watch that throughout the week, that's fine. Because you want to do that anyways.
Yeah.
You already want to do that.
Because I can't get through the last Airbender
No,
in
not
one
in
week.
1 week. Well,
I've only got 40 hours.
I'm trying to think of how long it is. It's 3 seasons, but I'm trying to think how many episodes.
And I have to do rounds and actually do my job.
Well, they're 23-minute episodes, so I mean they're short.
No, yeah, I burned through both seasons of what did I watch? Went through 2 seasons back to back of something in 2 nights.
Well, I would say since you're already working on The Boys, go ahead and wrap up The Boys.
All right.
And then if you wanted a little bit of a break, watch Peacemaker and then watch Gen V. That way you could get a little bit of time.
All right, we'll start with The Boys.
But that'll also give you that like real world time difference between season 3 and Gen V.
Yeah.
And then season 4 is dropping, I think, at the end of summer in
Cool.
theory. So that'll be good. But yeah, Peacemaker, it is a fun romp. And they do an insanely good job with his CGI eagle.
I've heard they keep the humor up a little bit.
Oh, it's so goddamn
Okay,
funny.
good. I'm looking forward.
Okay,
Now I'm looking forward to it.
So it's as bloody and disgusting as The Boys.
At first, it looked like Ernest Saves the World.
No. No. So, you know how bloody and disgusting The Boys is?
Yeah.
But there's humor.
Yes.
Ratchet it up to James Gunn's style of humor.
All right.
So
Kind
everything
of dry, little abstract.
abstract, but like goes for the hard, funny stuff and the obvious funny stuff. But then like there's a tiny, every now and then there'll be some intellectual humor. Every now and then,
But they don't just smack down the low-hanging fruit all day long.
not all day long.
Okay.
But also the fact that Peacemaker is in and of himself an idiot most of the time.
Well, he reminded me of the way they played the character the Tick,
Yes, he's very much like the Tick.
because it was
He takes himself very seriously.
Yeah.
But he's clearly a cartoon.
because some of the stuff that the Tick said had me rolling.
Yeah.
What was it, Dead Blow?
I think so.
He shows up on zip lines and he
Yeah.
looks at Arthur and he says, "Arthur, who is that zip line ejaculating deviant?"
Yes. So one thing about Peacemaker is he does run into other very low ranked superhero people.
Yeah.
But also his quote unquote best friend, Vigilante, is very much a cartoon character who also he's insane and doesn't know how insane he is. So he's great. But then they're played against the team from why can't I fucking think of the name of the whatever Waller works for? I cannot think of Argus.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So played against the Argus agents, especially Hardcore. Like she's super fucking straightforward and serious. Like
Wait, what else had Argus as the controlling entity?
in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, what else? There was something else.
I mean, a lot of DC stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Like anytime you've seen Amanda Waller, period. Argus
Because
is
I hear
involved.
Argus, I'm like, wait, I know that.
It's probably been used in other things like that. Batman animated series came up, all those things like that. Justice League Unlimited, all that. But like, so it's the play between the people who are taking themselves seriously but they're a joke, and the people who are actually serious clashing is the part that's great.
Yeah.
And the characters are all super fleshed out. That's why it's great. It's like nobody feels left on the table. Every character you get on screen, you feel like you know those characters somehow in your fucking life.
Good. So
You're
good,
like-
good character
it's like-
character development, good plot development, all
yes,
that.
the plot is weird because it has to be, but they make it work.
Okay.
There's a weird segment that happens on the back half of the show.
Well, then I know exactly what I'm doing tonight.
Yeah, so I would say watch Peacemaker because it's a lot of fun.
I need fun right now.
Yeah, it's fun. There is some depressing stuff in there. Don't get me wrong, there's depressing stuff. Because there's a lot of like realizing who you are because he's dealing. So Peacemaker thought he knew who he was in Suicide Squad. But then when he kills Flag, it flips a switch.
Okay.
And that's what he deals with through the front half of the series, especially in juxtaposition to his relationship with his dad, who is a straight up fucking supervillain. Like evil to the fucking core.
Commander Bison extraordinary.
Piece of shit fucking you hate this guy because you're supposed to hate this guy.
Right. Kind of like you hate Homelander.
Yes, in a similar way. But he's nowhere near as badass as Homelander.
Yeah, badass was just sadistic.
Yeah. I mean, he's badass in his own right, but Homelander also has an identity problem because he wasn't raised right. He's not a real person and all this other kind of nonsense. What's going to be great is if they follow through in season 4. I think they're only going to manage 5 seasons of The Boys because they're going to just run
out of material.
Yeah, but if they set up season 4 correctly, and I think part of the teasers did show that they're leaning that way, they're going to give us the proper ending of The Boys. Because they're doing a lot of new shit with The Boys that they didn't do in the comics. So in theory, they're going to still finish it out the way they have to.
Well, they're having to do new shit to flesh it out to hit that 5-season mark.
Well, no, I mean, they're doing new shit like a main character who's been gender swapped, and so the story has changed.
Ah.
So like Victoria Newland, you know, the hot chick who's like a senator
No.
in The Boys?
It's been about a year and a half since I put it
Okay,
down.
she's the one who pops people's heads.
Oh, yes. Yes. The one that was killing everybody in the first one.
Yes. Yeah. So she's actually a gender swapped character from the comics.
Okay.
Called Vic the Veep. So it was Victor Newland, and he becomes vice president down the line. So now they've had to change that character around, and she wasn't a soup there. So they kind of merged like two different characters together, if I remember correctly. And so Victoria Nuland is a soup and is running for vice president with Bobby Singer.
Okay.
It's actually Robert Singer, which is funny. So, the same actor playing Robert Singer in two different series from Supernatural. Yeah. So he actually plays Robert Singer in a completely different series. It makes no sense.
Right.
It's like, wait, how does the same character, the same actor playing...
He's bad with names.
I guess. It's just like, well, it's easy to remember. I already did this once. So that's Dakota Bob, as they call him in the comics. So either way, so also her character is important in Gen V. So definitely got to watch.
I'll tackle
like
it.
I said, if you're done with The Boys up till current, I didn't know if you said you finished it.
No, I've still got a season and a half to go.
Okay, yeah. So I would say knock out The Boys so that you can get through Gen V, because that's all. Like I said, it's a great continuation. It's not just a total spinoff. It's a continuation. You know, they'll do a spinoff and it has nothing to do with the main story.
Right.
This has everything to do with the main story. You just don't see the main characters. So it's literally like, the main characters are off doing their own shit off screen. So.
All right. Well, I'll get that done before next week.
Yep. I mean, you do it in your own time, but I mean, it is what it is. It's the good thing is you're not having to wait like some of us. You can just watch it now that it's out.
Some of the stuff I've been getting to lately is great. I'm not on the edge of my seat waiting for the next one to drop.
Yeah. So that's the part that sucks, is watching things the slow way. But that's one reason we do this show, is so we can discuss the things as they come out.
Right.
But it is what it is. Let's see, what are we at? We're 2.5 already, so that's good. I don't know if we got anything else going on.
What's the one I've been waiting to drop? It's stupid. It's campy. Young Sheldon. They're on their final season. And I really enjoyed the whole series.
Yeah. So, as someone who didn't even touch on it, what is there to like about it?
The actors, everybody works real well together. The individual they had playing Sheldon, his brother, and his mom were spot on. The mother is the daughter of the woman that played the mother in The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
They look so much alike.
Really? Okay.
And perfect. When they brought on his brother in The Big Bang Theory, he looks a lot like the Georgie character in Young Sheldon. I mean, their casting was spot on perfect. And you can tell in the later series of The Big Bang, when they were filming Young Sheldon, one of the episodes, he brought up a video of his dad giving a speech to his football team.
And they shot it from the...
Yes.
Okay. So...
I mean, it just merges real well.
Okay. So I never bothered... Like, one, I never finished Big Bang Theory. I should, because I love those characters.
You should.
And I get why people don't like it, or I get why people hate it after you realize once you remove the laugh track, maybe some scenes aren't as funny.
That was my mother-in-law's favorite show.
But okay, so let me ask you this. This is a weird thing. Yes, like with Friends or any of these sitcoms, you can see these videos where they remove the laugh track, and then you don't laugh. But the weird part is, I laughed already.
I'm still laughing.
But the thing, I'm saying, like, we watched this already.
Yeah, exactly.
We laughed at it. So you're only telling me that I'm not supposed to laugh at it now, because otherwise I'd probably still laugh.
You know, you run through it again, you may not laugh, but you're still going to crack a smile with the playing in the background while you're cleaning whatever.
And that's the other part, is that maybe I won't laugh now because I laughed then.
Yeah.
Because it might still be funny, like, because I'll rewatch clips. I see, I got an algorithm on Facebook where it's a lot of Big Bang clips.
Yeah,
mostly because of Kaylee Cuoco. I was a fan of hers from what was it? However Many Rules to Dating My Teenage Daughter.
I was more a Bernadette guy.
I mean, I like them both. Don't get me wrong, but I was already a fan of Kaylee Cuoco because of the show she came from with John Ritter. Whatever rules, however many rules of Dating My Teenage Daughter, or whatever that was. So I was a fan of her already. So when I saw her on that, I was like, yes, please. Either way, so I'm more of a Penny stan than a Bernadette stan, but I have no issue with either.
Right.
You know, mostly the voice.
Well, in that show alone, their character development as the seasons went on got better and better and better.
Yeah, but people say like there was
they added characters and they built on each other.
Yeah.
And their shared experiences. It was really good.
Yeah, and I mean, we watched. I think we got up to.
I mean, how can you say there's no character development? That Stewart character was this mousy comic book owner, and he maybe had 2 lines, but they kept bringing him back and bringing him back.
They gave him,
and then
more
he was
to
a
do.
major role and a fleshed out character who changed over time.
Yeah, I mean, for Stewart, that is entirely true.
And
But
look at
like
Sheldon.
Raj's character was supposed to basically end, and then they eventually gave him speaking roles and
and
completely changed him.
he kept growing as a character.
Yeah. And like the biggest moment I thought was when he finally first speaks in front of Penny. And he doesn't even think about it.
Yeah, he's just sad and depressed.
Yeah, and then he realizes he talked in front of a girl, and that completely changes the character. Which, thank God, because that is a massively hindering thing to manage. Not having a character who can't speak when
It
other
was
characters.
very entertaining watching Howard translate for him, telling lying about what he was saying.
That's right.
That's hysterical.
When he whispered in his ears. Yeah. I mean, like, I enjoyed the show, and like I've known people who are like Sheldon. And I've known people who are like the other, and people go like, "These guys aren't real nerds." And I'm like,
What's a nerd?
"No, my question was, how many nerds do you hang around?"
You know, how do you define a nerd?
I'm like, I have an entire room in there full of my fucking nerdiness. I'm like, yeah, I don't dress like them, but I know people who are exactly like these.
Everybody, I don't care who you are, you've got a little bit of nerd tendencies. I don't care what you're into.
So, by the way, back in the day, my first podcast was called the Shoky Nerdcast, and the motto for that show was, "You may not be a nerd for everything, but everyone is a nerd for something."
Yes.
So, and that was an interview show for people who are nerdy about whatever it is they nerded about.
Yeah.
It's just basically having a ton of knowledge about a subject, and that could be anything.
And see, I nerd out about all kinds. I'm a bit ADD.
Yeah.
So I hyperfixate on some things and I get really good at it.
Yeah.
And then I move on to something else, but I still work on the other thing too.
Yeah,
That's
same.
why I'm so busy in the shop. There's always something to work on.
Yeah.
You know, people, I saw a quote the other day. It says, "How do you know so much about so many different things?" And I said, "Bitch, I've quit more things than you ever thought about starting."
Right. I mean, like, I'm the same way. You
Yeah.
know, I was like a jack of all trades situation.
I finally bought a lathe after 10 years of watching videos of running a lathe and working on it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I finally get it, and I drop right into I have a couple fumbles, but I drop right into the mechanics because I had that theoretical knowledge of how to do it. And I just jump right into it, loving it. You know, I can eat up 5 hours in the shop, lathe running nonstop, and be perfectly happy.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm the same way with a lot of that kind of stuff, but I've also, like, certain things that get fixed on, like when I was doing the Gundam stuff, like very fixated on the situation, did it as a hobby and also as entertainment.
Yeah,
and
mine's
stuff like
packed
that.
away. I tore it apart because I didn't like the way it looked out of the Wing Zero.
Okay.
And I completely pulled it apart, all the golds and reds and everything else. I pulled apart, did a metallic golds and reds, sanded everything back down pretty, did some rub and buff gold on the wings to make the inlay highlights on the wings and all that pop. And it looks so much better.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like my Christmas Gundam, actually.
Yeah.
My Wing Zero Noel. So it was actually our tree topper for years.
Nice.
Yeah, so I repainted the whole thing in red metallic, but then I made what looked like Santa's gloves and boots, and I added a tiny bit of little bitty garland around those edges.
Nice.
And then did the wing tips gold, but not the whole wings. So
Yeah,
that was
any of those wings coming down his back, all that was highlighted gold, all the grooves and inlays in it.
Yeah.
It looked great.
yeah. So this is the Wing Zero custom with the angel wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we don't put it on top of the tree anymore.
That was a Temu buy for like $50.
That's not Temu pricing, unfortunately.
Well,
that's upcharge there.
Well, everywhere else we looked, they were way expensive over here.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, depending on where you get stuff, like, hell, we got Gundam specific stores in Houston.
I didn't know that. My wife was just surprised me.
I know,
with
I'm
stuff.
just saying.
Here, build this. Shut up.
Yeah, here, build this and shut up. I mean, I never had that kind of backing from Jessica, except for once. She bought me one kit, ever.
Oh, that woman's about to get me super busy. My stepdaughter's wedding's not a year away, and then we're doing everything pretty much ourselves. And she has so much crap she wants me to build for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be nonstop for months.
Well, if you need some help, I'm handy.
There's a lot of repeatable stuff we'll be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I can build things. It's like I already had a history as a carpenter. I'm good.
Right.
It's like I know how to use all the machines.
Yeah, I'm fixing the porch tomorrow, fixing a door jamb on the pump house.
Yeah.
And then building tool racks for our rakes and shovels and anything with a handle.
Yeah. Well, hell, one of these days I need to come out there when it's daylight because I couldn't even see anything. I was like,
You do need to come out, go for a walk, take the tour.
Yeah.
Pull the guns out, do some shooting.
yep, definitely for that. Need to do the full tour one afternoon.
Bring tannerite.
What?
Tannerite.
What about it?
That's a binary explosive.
I know what it is. I thought you told me to bring some.
Bring
I'm
it.
like, where am I going to buy tannerite?
Academy.
I didn't know they just sold binary explosives in. I mean, maybe we'll see.
We can find a dead tree, wedge it under it, and
So-
launch the tree.
So,
We did that with a railroad tie once.
okay,
2.5 foot chunk of railroad tie. Balanced it, end up on top of the can of tannerite.
yeah,
My boy hit the ground with his AK.
yeah.
Pop! Boom! You can feel it slam you in the chest. Then it launches it straight into there, starts coming toward us.
The
Joe Goodman's behind us going, "Stay there!"
So I wish I still had the videos of this. They might be somewhere on a hard drive. But me and a few friends got up to. We had some less than legal homemade.
Sparklers.
There were sparklers, yes, but no homemade projectile devices made of PVC.
Mm-hmm.
Molten plastic and particle board 200 feet in the air. And it was there 1 second, gone the next. And we had that all on video.
Oh, that's fun.
But then we still had other stuff to blow up. So we running across the field and then diving like there's a grenade behind him.
Chris who?
You might know him, but I don't.
Starts with an M?
No.
Okay, never mind.
B.
Ends with a
Either
K?
No.
Okay.
But it was like in the dimming light. Like it's right when it's getting dark enough. And he's just like, ah! It's like- and we're legit like 100 yards away. Like it's like other end of the fucking
Oh,
field.
that's good.
And we're like got the cars. Like luckily nothing else was damaged, but that explosion was epic.
Oh, we learned a long time ago to know where your vehicles are when you're doing silly stuff. We had the four-wheelers
Yeah, 'cause
out.
that was my new car at that point too.
Had the four-wheelers out. We're goofing off. We found a dead pine and started just shooting the hell out of it. And it fell.
Yeah.
And it started to fall right toward our 3 four-wheelers.
Uh-oh.
Luckily, we were far away. Just the tops of the branches landed over it. We could chop it out with a machete.
Yeah.
But still, it was bad.
Let me see if I can find this album. I'm pretty sure I can.
Definitely don't want to show anything like that anywhere.
No. Well, this is not visible. I'm just trying to pull it up on my Facebook. It's way back when, because this was on my. Is this it? Yes. Come here. But yeah, I mean that was a fun day out there. So either way, I think that's a perfectly good spot to wrap up there. Just I'm going to eliminate part of that story.
Cool.
But it is what it is. Yeah, we're at 240 something either way. So guys, thanks for coming and joining us here on this episode. And of course, everybody give a warm welcome to Jeff, who's basically going to establish himself as the new co-host, essentially.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Might get tired of me, kick me out.
Maybe we'll see. It still works. Well, I'll definitely keep on the lookout for a third chair. 'Cause
Right.
it flows really well with 3 people.
I can see how it would.
Yeah, the old show. I mean, even when we had like 4 was getting to be a bear, all like 5 of us was hard.
Well, even then, had a good time today.
Oh yeah, that's definitely fun.
Yep.
Because like at least we had topics to talk about, especially with Dune and stuff like that. So it's getting you used to the idea.
Yep, I had feelings.
Yes, you definitely have feelings. It's just mostly getting you used to the podcast flow and everything else like that.
It'll get there.
And then we can reestablish structure.
Right.
So that's the thing. So it's fine. No big deal. It's no big deal. If nothing else, it's so much easier to actually film with people in person than over the internet and trying to assemble people's schedules across the country and all this other stuff. Which, don't get me wrong, I love the earlier days when we got everybody together. You know, we had a very good time together and all this other stuff like that. Very deep conversations, which, you know, obviously.
Which is easier to achieve with 3 or 4 people sitting there.
It is. Also, top fives are a thing that happen periodically around here. So, obviously, well, I'll give you more heads up for things like that in the future. Also, guys, if you have topics and questions or even top 5 ideas for us, write in to the NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com or just leave it in the comments down below, whatever you got. Like, also, question for everybody listening. I know I'm throwing this in at the end. What was your first in-theater movie experience?
That's good.
Yeah. So mine was almost said Back to the Future. That would have been cool, but no. It was Land Before Time. And if there was something else, if you have a similar experience to me where it was okay, well, we got to see this instead. What was the other movie? So
I think the first one I remembered was Lion King.
Okay, so that's 96, I think.
I don't know what the hell I was doing before that.
94, 96, somewhere in there. So the problem is a lot of really good movies came out between 93 and 96.
Yeah.
Especially like Toy Story, Lion King, Aladdin. The Disney Renaissance happened in that period of time. Jurassic Park happened at that time. The CGI, everything CGI started coming out around about then.
Right.
You know, so that was a big deal. So
mine went out.
Yep, I saw it. Yep. Well, now we know exactly how long that light will last. So the good for us. So either way, guys, with that, okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
There you go. Yeah, dude, it actually made a difference, like on camera. Like it made a difference
It does.
when that light went out.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Now all you see is my head shining.